Avast ahoy and good day once again to ye mateys! I be your cheerfully delighted and unflinchingly jocular DM, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more excitement than finding a new book series I like and then discovering that it was written over 2 decades ago and there are like 12 more ready to go already, to welcome me back to Corsair's Cove and Mano a Mano! With me I have my darling wife, the carefree and untroubled Karen, the mother of bunnies.
Well, that's very optimistic of you, sweetheart.
Sure.
Yeah, carefree and untroubled.
Microbiologist, we are very well this evening, my friend. How are you? Karen, who the heck are you?
I am Karen, otherwise known as the Mother of Bunnies, in Twitch and over on Twitter, and at least until the hell site burns to the ground. And I get really excited when I discover a podcast I really like, and they've already released like hundreds of episodes, and therefore I don't have to make any decisions about what I'm going to listen to for the next week, because I can just put it in order of episodes, hit play, and then it will literally just keep going. But you can, apart from following me on Twitter, you can also follow my burlesque alter ego on Instagram as @MissLolaMore, and you can listen to my dulcet tones on the D&D podcast, There Be Dragons. There's a link in chat, or just look for There Be Dragons on your preferred podcasting platform. The DM swears we will have a new episode out at some point.
I don't buy it.
But there's a modest amount for you to binge. They're like 3 hours long. So
there's like, yeah, there is a solid couple of weeks worth to binge. At least. There's 33-ish eps out currently, and they're each like 3 hours long. That's a lot to get through.
You don't binge podcasts the way I binge podcasts, clearly.
Well. And Madame et Monsieur, Dame under Herren and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate, and you can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, playing D&D with me lovely wife, the mother of bunnies. You can also find me playing D&D sometimes with other people as well, not necessarily with Karen, and occasionally you'll even find Karen doing stuff, not with me, because we are independent people. I swear we're not joined at the actual hip. If you like my majestic voice, but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, you can check me out on the podcast There Be Dragons as well, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scanfelspar und his little dragon, Hrosh. We have some pretty cool stuff coming up, do we not, Karen? We have Tuesday night, tomorrow night I will be doing some more home brewing. Thursday night we have the next episode of Humblewood of Monsters and Magic, and then starting next Monday, it is Candlekeep Christmas.
Yes! 12 days of Candlekeep Christmas. So for 12 days over the 3 weeks leading up to Christmas, we're doing 3 separate kind of mini campaigns from the Candlekeep Mysteries book. Different players every night. Four. I do apologize. I did my maths wrong. I was like, it was either 3.
It's 3 lots of 4, not 4 lots of 3. Yeah.
3. It's 4 of 3, 4 DMs. There's 12 people involved, a total, which was an accident, but actually turned out to be perfect.
Yeah, balance as well.
So it'll be different people every night. There'll be a few kind of consistent to kind of keep things on track, hopefully. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Most of us have done some Christmassy themed characters for your entertainment. Josh will be playing Dolph the Red. And I can't remember what I named mine. What did I name mine? It was a Christmassy name I gave mine, wasn't it? She's inspired by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. She's a druid.
I do not recall.
I gave her a Christmassy name, but I can't remember what it was. I'll
Jubilee
have to go check.
Or something.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be loads of fun.
Noella. You finding out now?
She'll be in characters, yeah. Because it's going to irritate me all session.
I must also remind our jovial, cheery, and possibly even contented audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the ! Socials. We have the YouTube, which is fully up to date. And we have the Discord. So you can check out all of those things. Links in chat. That's Discords, plural. Chat commands are really handy, but at the same time, if you make a misspelling, it's like... What
you should do is make me do it while you're talking.
That's a good idea. I mean, you could do that. Karen, why don't you tell me about Ukraine while I type the word Ukraine?
So, Ukraine. there's been a war on most of the year, which is unfortunate. But it's even more unfortunate if you're one of the people directly involved. So the first link in chat is for the Emergency Action Appeal for Ukraine, which is a group of Australian not-for-profits and charities which have come together to raise money to support Ukrainian refugees. They've raised over $4 million, which is amazing. But if you have a few spare digital pennies, feel free to chuck them over there. The second link is for the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth, which is another fundraiser for the British Red Cross Appeal for Ukraine, which is UK-based. This is a 38-page booklet of D&D goodness. There are some wonderful creatures, some subclasses. There is even a little one-shot campaign in there, and a gorgeous Tolkien-inspired map of Ukraine if you would like to use it for your adventures. So yes, the minimum donation to receive a copy is £1, which is $1 to $2 Australian dollary-doos, which is, yes, the official currency of Australia. I swear, I'm not lying. But you can donate as much as you like above that. So if you want to pay £100 for a copy of it, you go right ahead. And if you would like to have a little sneaky peek at what lies within, we actually played the one-shot from this campaign. So if you head on over to our Tube of Views, or the YouTube, you can watch it. It was a wonderful little module about going into a forest and getting some magical apples. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good fun. And we had special guest Soteris come and join us, who will be back for joining us for Candlekeep Mysteries as well, which is going to be super fun. So, Karen, I think it would be a good idea if we had a small recap.
Ooh. Well, let me flip back through the new book of knowledge.
While you flip back through the book of knowledge, I will just mention that music tonight is provided by Sirenscape, and we are affiliated with Wooden Forge. Wooden Forge are the purveyors of WA's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, like this gorgeous dice keeper here. This is my Jarrah dice box. The magnets are super duper strong, so you won't lose any dice. And it's got a rolling tray on one side and the facility to keep about 4 sets of dice in it. But this one is actually supposed to be a mini spot up there. But I just filled it with dice because I am a dice goblin.
Yeah. How many dice?
I'm not really a dice goblin, but I do.
We're trying. We're trying.
Yeah. I try not to, but every now and again I was like, ooh, that one's pretty. All right, what happened last time?
Okay, last time was Mano a duo, as we were joined by special guest Malika Mood, playing the Merfolk ambassador, because we went to speak with Queen Otherkent again on our ongoing quest to try and get everyone to work together to defeat the mutual bad guy instead of fighting with each other. How Beryl ended up becoming an ambassador is still a little bit of a mystery, but she's rolling with it. So all the other aquatic representatives were gathered. A spear almost got thrown as Oceanus, but luckily the queen seemed to have guards like standing by to stop that. And the dude's like, "Hey, you said you didn't know any sea elves." And I said, "No, I didn't."
I never specifically said I didn't.
It didn't, yeah. I was very careful not to say that I didn't know any sea elves. I think I said I don't have any with me, which was... Oh, no, I didn't say that because that would have been a lie as well. I was very careful. I can't remember, but it was clever. The Merfolk ambassador proposes that we all form an alliance with the Sea Elves, and if the Locanthers start any shit, the others will all band together against them, and likewise, if the Sea Elves start any shit, they will also all band together against them. Thus ensuring that no one can try any shit without all the others being like, "Hey, don't do that.
No shit.
No shit. No shit from any of you."
Up with your bullshit.
Very much so. Oceanus seemed pleased that a solution had been proposed, but he's a little surprised that everyone's going for it. And he steps up to offer to lead a delegation to his people, so the negotiations can be formalized. And I get to go too. With Shimmereef, played by the lovely Malika Moon, who was the Merfolk's secondary ambassador, while the main ambassador will go to the Locanthar.
Yes. The Coalinth. The Locanthar. Yeah.
Sorry. Coalinth.
You're good.
Too many names.
Yeah.
So in the morning, we head off. Garrett and Garok are left behind to pursue their own various interests. And we begin swimming our way towards Oceanus's town, city, home, place, where his people are. And I'm wearing, obviously, my helmet of water breathing, tied on fashionably with a scarf. Because the last thing you want when you're a long way underwater is to lose the ability to breathe it. That would be bad.
Yep.
So we've been swimming for a while, and then I'm like, I smell blood in the water. And
Blood
like,
on the water. Oh, that's what we should have called this title. Next one. I'll put that in the notes.
Yeah, put
blood
it in the
on
notes.
the water.
Next one. Chamonix's like, I think it's a humanoid blood. And we're trying not to panic. But we realize we seem to have swum past the same rock about 3 times. And I do a little like magical check, and I'm like, we have been misdirected. And I try to cast a spell magic, but it doesn't work. And Chamonix notices that the kelp has closed above us, and we're like, oh shit. And Oceanus is like, we're being hunted. And the rest of us are like, no shit. And then tiny shark people, about the size of an arm, shoot forward, and we're pretty sure these are baby Sahuagin. Sahuagin being the big bad in this situation. Oceanus and I get nibbled a little, and I spot a bigger Sahuagin.
Oceanus gets nibbled a lot.
A lot. I get nibbled a little, he gets nibbled a lot. And I spot a big lady up ahead with a wand. And we're like, oh shit, she's probably leading them. Chamonix manages to make the water around the big lady Sahuagin disappear with a small sonic boom, was how I noted it, which she doesn't appreciate. The swarm keep biting Oceanus. And I called her Big Mama in my notes.
Yes.
And she blasts me, so I blast her back with Shatter, and then she dies. The swarm, however, are in a bit of a bloodlust now, so we kind of keep blasting them until they bugger off. And then I got to say the delightful line of, they really nibbled your biscuits. Which yes. I have no idea if that's a real Southern saying or not, but it is now. So we heal Oceanus a bit, and we kind of suss out the lady, Big Mama's body. She's a priestess. She's got like a tentacle gold medallion, which is pretty dope. And she has a wand that can cast Guiding Bolt, which is also a bit dope. We also find a pouch containing Coalinth body parts.
Yes, she was wearing a backpack made of a large piece of coral that contained bits of dead baby Coalinth.
Yeah, so Oceanus is like, this is the proof we need that the Coalinth babies have been eaten by the Sahuagin and not the sea elves. So he asked Chamonix to take the evidence back to the lizard folk hideout so it can be presented before the queen and the various people. And
which was a neat way of writing out Chamonix, which I had not planned. I just kind of figured we'd have Malika back next week. this week, but yeah. Oh.
But Chamonix heads back, and Oceanus and Beryl continue on towards Shimmereef.
Exactly. Very well.
And that is the story so far.
That's where we're up to, exactly. Yes, thank you very much, Karen. Well, mateys, may your spells work just as well underwater, and all your allies refrain from cannibalism as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion to tell us. So, Beryl.
Yes.
You have just concluded battle with some hungry baby Sahuagin and their priestess mother, and found some evidence to support your suspicion that it was the Sahuagin, not the sea elves, who killed and ate the Coalinth's children. Leaving Chamonix to return the evidence to the lizardfolk camp, you and Oceanus have pushed on to Shimmereef. The place is aptly named. It fairly glistens in the early afternoon sun. A huge agglomeration of corals sitting in shallow water, only a couple of 100 feet deep on a sea mount. Pinks and oranges shine as shoals of fish parade by. The sea elves seem to live very much in harmony with their home. The dwellings seem more grown than built, each generation adding to the efforts of the last, slowly encouraging the coral into the buildings they require.
I enjoy the plinky plonky music that we've got going.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, I think so. This is, what is this? This is harps. Yep, this is harps. In Sirenscape. It's my custom playlist, this one, so this is a sound set called Under the Waves. And, yeah. You are slowly swimming towards this. Now, it's worth noting that we have a picture of Beryl and Garrett up on the screen, but in fact, Beryl doesn't look much like this anymore. What does Beryl currently look like? Because she is wearing her glamoured, her studded leather of glamour, that she can decide whatever the hell she wants to look like, plus a Grecian style helmet, rather like of bronze, but sort of rather verdigreed and old, held on with a scarf. So yeah, you are probably a bit of a sight.
I am a sight. I'm also not carrying my dulcimer because it doesn't like being immersed in water.
No, not ideal.
So I just have my pipes of rat summoning. Not that I will summon any rats down here because she'll drown. Ratness
will drown and hold that against you, maybe.
She probably would. And like that would be fair. I would have drowned her.
Yeah. Like, technically rats can hold their breath for, I think, about 30 seconds.
So I've got 30 seconds to summon her and then banish her before she drowns.
I mean, if you you could summon and banish. If you're like, oh, we need backup! Ratness! And then out she comes, but, you know, not the nicest thing to do. It comes up, but immediately starts drowning as soon as she appears. Send me back to the interdimensional plane I came from, please.
I don't like this. Make it stop.
Yeah, you are swimming towards Shimmereef. You are close enough to like make out figures. The population it's quite diffuse, but it's slightly odd because you can see a lot of it. It's there's a degree of verticality to it. Yeah, there are highways and byways through it. And yeah, it's as was observed sort of last week, you are very much in a 3-dimensional world now. Like the land folk don't really appreciate quite how much space you can have when you can go up and down as well. So whilst the footprint of the town is probably not much bigger than Bottledown, you would think it's probably got 3 times the amount of occupants. Just because they've got more space in it and around it. But yes, extremely harmonious with the surrounding people. And Oceanus is sort of pointing out things to you there. He's over there is the council chamber, or the entrance to it anyway. It's actually quite deep. It's one of the first structures that was ever built. We are part of the Sea Elf. We don't have an empire per se, but it's more sort of a loose collection of city-states, militarily semi-independent. The local Sea Elves are at war with the Coalinth. The Coalinth are very much a local issue. Yes.
Yeah. They're
local. Yeah, they are. Yeah. They are, yeah. Medieval Italy. Let's pop the picture of the Sahuagin away. We don't need that anymore. Just know what he looks like. Here's hang on. And swimming toward you, Beryl, are a trio of reasonably well-armed sea elves. Two women and a man, all look sort of have a military aspect to them, and one of the women addresses the pair of you. State your business, outsider.
Meaning me, I assume?
She is with me. I don't care. I want to know what her business is.
Oh, well, hello. I'm Beryl. Ingots Fury. Beryl Ingots Fury. I am here as a representative of the Council of Bottledown. as they were curious as to why there was a bunch of lizard folk moved into their neighborhood swamp. And then I went to chat with the lizard folk, and they wanted to kind of extend a message to you. And so I'm here as the land-dwelling representative to Oceanus's water-dwelling person.
We have a proposal to give to the council. Beryl represents, as she says, the land folk in this. It is an offer of alliance with a potential solution for our local coalinth problem. Miss Ingrid's Fury has also been quite helpful in potentially solving and presenting another solution to that. So make with advantage a persuasion check, basically, Beryl.
Ooh. How will the dice treat me tonight? They've been up and down the last few sessions. Oh, 9. Not
with
great.
Advantage?
Oh. Forgot about that, sorry. Gosh. This is what I mean about the dice being up and down, because I just went from a 4 to a 20.
Yeah. The Oceanus speaking for you seems to sort of carry a fair amount of weight. Hey, Bishop Blood, good to see you. Yes, Nat 20's in chat, exactly. And yeah, he this guardswoman sort of listens and sort of nods excitedly. And says, turns to one of her subordinates and says, Bahari, go tell the council that we have an ambassador from the land folk here to provide them, here proposing an alliance. And one of the other woman swims away. And she says, it's good to see you again, Oceanus. This is very welcome news. I think the council will be really excited, and I know I am. It'll probably take an hour or so to get the council all together. You know how things move here. And Oceana says, yes, I do. I heard you'd gone on a secret mission. Not a secret. It was, I suppose, not broadcast particularly well. I was trying to determine the reason for the movements of a particular vessel. I succeeded, in no small part thanks to Miss Ingrid's Fury. In fact, I was imprisoned and she freed me. So, yes, it was very much her fault that I succeeded. The vessel in question
sound like you didn't want to succeed.
Well, no, I'm happy to have. The vessel in question is no longer an issue. And she goes, New Reef? He says, no, it's still very much floats, but now in the hands of Bottledown, the town Miss Ingrid's Fury represents. It is Miss, isn't it?
Oh, yes. No, I'm not married. Goodness me, that would be weird.
Would it?
I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm the marrying type, you know?
Oh. Sagara, if we may, I wouldn't mind showing the ambassador around the reef a little before we talk to the council. That fine with you? And Sagara, who you can presume is the lead guard, says, no, that's fine. Go for it. Try to, don't cause a fuss. And Oceana says, well, what can I show you first, my good friend?
Well, what counts as like a garden here?
Garden?
Yes.
Gosh.
Like if there was like a park where people were to go and bask in the glory of nature, what would that look like here?
I would say, and Sagara says, the whole place.
Well, I
Yes.
suppose that's fair. But is there like a particular bit of it where you can go and like?
So there is a, yes, I think the central bed is, yes, all right. He takes you, she says, perhaps the wreck, and he says, yes, that's what I was thinking. Come, I'll show you King Braithwaite's revenge.
Ooh.
And he, rather than, so there are streets and roadways and things through it, but it's so much easier to just go up a bit.
Yeah, you just go over anything.
If you have neutral buoyancy, you just go over. And so there is a feeling of a sort of a delightful jumble. A little bit, but after a little while, you probably do get the sense of the order of this place, the place with the way things work. People heading in one direction swim on the left, for example. That sort of thing.
There is some kind of sense of road rules, so to speak.
Yeah, it's common courtesy, not enforced particularly, but yeah. If you're swimming at the same level as somebody else, then you don't like. After a little bit of observation, you know how when you're walking down the street and you come across somebody and you both try and get out of each other's way and you're terribly Edwardian. And it's like, couldn't possibly. Pardon me. That. That doesn't happen down here. They have just a. If that happens, you go to the left. You both do. You just do that. And it's, there's just a bunch of commonly understood, like, generally understood rules about the way people move down here, because there is that verticality. You can go up and over, which means everybody does. So there is a lot of traffic, but it all moves reasonably well. You do not witness a collision, and after a little while you sort of figure out, I just go this way.
I know it's probably not your intention, but my brain just jumped to when we were in Vietnam, and there was like, the roads were insane, but we never saw an accident the whole time we were there.
Yep, like, terrifying, but...
It's terrifying. It looks
the
like
trick was,
not a chaos.
It was complete and utter chaos, but it was, again, I think, it's something they all understood, and it looked like chaos because we didn't. And I was
we didn't know the rules. We were just hanging onto the side of the taxi going...
We were told that we could rent, and I was just like, nope, I don't want to drive here. Nope. Not so much because the couple of times I said, no, I'm not driving here. Look at the roads. And the people seemed to be offended by it. But I was like, that's not a judgment on you guys and the way you drive. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Which means I would be dangerous. Because I don't understand the rules.
I wouldn't want to drive because...
Driving on the right, yeah.
Yeah, it's just driving in a way that is the opposite of how I'm used to driving.
Yeah. My instincts wouldn't... I could do it, logically, but my instincts would always revert. So in a crisis, I know I would make the exact wrong choice. And I
didn't want to die in a taxi in Vietnam or on a scooter in Vietnam.
Valid. Cool.
I wouldn't mind dying in a resort in Vietnam. That's pretty dope.
Maybe in 50 years.
In 50 years, in 50 years, when I've lived a good long life, I'll die floating in the pool during happy hour at a resort in Vietnam.
I mean, it's certainly what would kill me. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, happy hour is when the Iceman comes and drops massive slabs of ice into the pool to cool it down. Pretty great. I've
got a beer cozy. It's not all over Vietnam. It's in one particular resort.
It was the hotel we were staying at. They dumped ice in the pool at 5 o'clock, and that meant it was happy hour.
Because everybody got out of the fucking pool because it got cold. We're like, why are you doing this? Because the Iceman also made beer. So he brought like 40 litres of his homemade beer that had no preservatives in it, which meant no hangovers, but also it didn't last. But it didn't last anyway.
Which meant you had to drink it all on Monday night.
Which it didn't last anyway, because it was me and a pair of Canadian guys, and we're like, we can deal with this, don't you worry. And they were like, well, I know, we had 25 litres last week, and he's bringing 30 this time, so... Well, I'm like, no, you guys are about to see something really special. It was all gone. There was none left by Tuesday. And not a hangover was found. Anyway. So yeah, you swim up and over. And you get, after sort of 5 minutes swim or so, you can make out a wreck.
Ooh.
The wreck of a fairly big ship. As in, sort of the ship that you took, Beryl, was a 2-masted schooner. It was not a massive ship. You're talking, I believe it was about 120 feet long. This thing is comfortably twice in every dimension. And it has seen better days.
Well, it is sunk, so you kind of expect that.
It is, it has 40 gun ports on each side. It is listing over at about a 30-degree angle. It has sunk, and a good chunk of the port side has been blown away. It would appear by an explosion because it's that the chunk that's missing is resting about 100 feet from the rest of it. And you can see a cross-section sort of all 4 decks, whereas the vessel you took only had 2. This thing it's massive, and several cannon have fallen out, and it has been crafted by the Sea Elves into a reef. A new garden for them. And Oceanus would explain, when that vessel went down, it did a fair amount of damage when it came down. And so when we repaired and rebuilt, we did so utilizing it. And it sort of, I believe, over 15 lives were lost. I mean, I believe significantly more were lost when the thing went down, but when it actually hit, there was several casualties. And so it was sort of left as a monument to them. And we built it in, and no one lives in it. No one wants to. It's too land folky, you know? So it's been turned into this really quite elegant thing, I think. And it is. It's covered in weeds and grasses, and a significant amount of coral. He says it's probably, I think it was about 150 years ago. One of the masts, it had lateral, like, you know, the big tall ships have the sails that are across the vessel rather than hinging off a boom. They have the mast, and then like the sail would be in front of it. Someone has sort of grown a fan coral across one of these to replicate a sail. And it sways very gently in the current. It is a light pink, this fan coral. And yeah, the entire thing, you can see a group of children playing on it, pretending to be land folk sailing the waves. 2 of them are arguing over who gets to steer next. And it's generally treated like a recreational area. He says, there. I don't know if it's the prettiest, but it's a garden. It's definitely what you described.
Absolutely. It's wrong accent. Oh boy. It's beautiful, Oceanus. Am I allowed to swim inside and have a look?
Oh, of course. No valuables left. Well, unless you count cannon. Plenty of cannon.
Some people would count cannon, but I think I'd struggle to get a cannon back up to the surface.
They're bloody heavy, even underwater. That's why we haven't moved them. Though, if your people would be interested. What am I talking about? Cannon aren't a thing. We've already established this. There are no cannon. It would be... There are wrecked crossbows. Giant crossbows. with steel cross braces. Yeah, it would have been armed. It would have had 40 on each side.
Mm. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to swim inside and have a look.
Yeah, you do so. It was the damage is quite significant inside, but it's add to the fact that it's been overgrown. It is a wreck, but the quality of the light and the semi-open nature of the vessel allow a huge amount of color into a space that would normally be quite drab. And any detritus from its damage beyond any small chunks rather are long since gone. So it's just there. The metalwork is very corroded, but again, not in an unattractive way.
Yeah, like there's like certain things that kind of have this beauty, even though they're kind of like technically like.
Broken or ruined.
Yeah, they're broken or ruined, but they're still beautiful. You know, when you go to an old castle that's been taken over by the forest, it's still beautiful, even though it's technically ruined.
Beryl, make me an animal handling check.
Ooh. Intriguing. 9. Suboptimal.
Suboptimal, but this place fairly teems with life. And because it is very well traveled, the fish, particularly down here, are exceptionally tame. And more than one little fish swims up to you and sort of checks you out. There's a couple that even attempt to clean you.
Oh.
And an eel swims lazily past and twines itself between your legs as it goes.
Well, it's a little creepy. Beryl's less okay with that, but only because...
Oceanus says, don't worry, he won't hurt. Nothing down here... Nothing that lives on the reef would harm an elf or similar.
Oh, good. Well, that's a relief. Because there are eels that can shock you, you know.
I am aware, yes. And there are some that live on the reef, but they wouldn't shock a person. Well, it's sort of, you have spiders and other small insect things that are dangerous to you living in your homes on the land, I believe.
Don't necessarily bite you unless you do.
But you don't, and you teach your children from a young age not to interact with them. You just leave that one be. It's not going to hurt you, but unless you piss it off. Well, same deal. If you don't touch an electric eel, because you'll piss it off. But you'll be it takes an inordinate amount of process for them to generate a charge sufficient to injure somebody. So they don't expend it unless they feel threatened.
So it's not going to bother shocking me just because I happen to be here.
No.
Okay.
Just like this young chap isn't going to attack you either. And he has snagged a shark. It's a small reef shark, only about 2 feet long. And he's holding it by a couple of its fins and really guiding it more than pulling it. And he says, touch it. It's rather... I know obviously if you live in the water, it's not that unusual, but touch it. They are quite odd to the feel of them.
Okay, I'll touch the shark.
And the shark allows you to pet it.
I will pet the shark.
And it's got quite a rough texture to its skin, a little sandpapery. But yeah. He says, I am glad that we were able...
I'm going to have to write one hell of a song about this.
I'm glad we were able to...
I don't know whether to call it King Braithwaite's Revenge or I touched a shark and I liked it.
I think the second.
I touched a shark and I liked it.
So did the shark, didn't you? You did. Off you go then. And it swooshes away. He says, I'm glad I was able to show you more than just the council chamber.
No, this is incredible. Thank you so much for trusting me down here. I appreciate it more than I can say.
Oh, trust has already been more than earned from you, Beryl in God's Fury. Um,
I don't know
it's a
if it's
shame that
possible to blush when you're this far underwater, but Beryl would go a little pink at that.
it's a shame that the dwarves and the elves don't always see eye to eye.
It is. It is.
Anyway,
It would be a very dull world if we all got along perfectly.
it would. Well, let's see if we can't see our way to helping more people see eye to eye. Shall we?
Yes. Let's go.
And he leads you to the council chamber. The council chamber is down a rocky corridor, so you are actually swimming underground, underwater. The council meets in a large hollow rock formation which has been worn by the age and the tides. The rock is sandstone, and the wear has a very organic feel. Yes, Dragon at Rest. Cave diving underwater. Cave diving.
Which is so dangerous.
So dangerous.
So dangerous.
Even if you
Like,
have a
people who
magical
go
helmet that
cave
lets you breathe
diving,
underwater.
Just wow.
Yeah. And not at all the subject of which Karen's film is about.
Technically, it's not like they do a little bit, but like it's not the. It's present. It's a present thing, but it's not. Yeah. But don't go cave diving. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. The rock is sandstone, but the wear has a very organic feel to it. The edges are all soft and curved. It's as though some huge being carved it with an ice cream scoop. You know how, like, in desert areas, you've got the sand-blasted rock formations that are very, like, smooth, like someone's gone at it with a like an almost spherical shovel. Like, and carved out these. That's the sort of vibe of this place. It almost feels like a hive.
I'm not going to find like the ocean equivalent of a whole lot of bugs down here, am I?
No. Yeah, it's still full of fish. Nothing much bigger than a salmon. You know, like the area can seat hundreds, and then it occurs to you it actually could probably admit thousands, because it's quite high as well. As long as everybody was, and it looking around, you think, maybe that's what the grooves are for, so you can sort of fit in them and position yourself without drifting. Oceanus sort of gives you the rundown as you're going in. Well, see, there are 3 councilmen, but they deal with the local matters. Kadakatan, Valtameri, and Ianme. It's hard to express political leaning. All 3 are older elves, but not, I wouldn't say overly conservative for elves. When you live as long as we do, you sort of have to move with the time. So I don't foresee any major issue. We're offering them a solution to their problem on a plate.
I feel like it's an offer that it's hard to be like, well, that's a terrible idea. Like, I feel it comes across real well.
I agree. I just warn you that whilst there are 3, and the logic would be that you only need 2 of them to agree, on matters of external policy, which this would probably be, you actually need full consent from everyone. 3. Yes.
Right. It needs to be unanimous for something this important.
Yes, or, well, if they cannot, they reach an impasse and simply cannot get the 3rd to agree. It's normally thrown open to a general council, and everyone's invited.
Which would be why this place is so huge, I assume. So
yes, it can't actually admit everybody, but not all elves are have voting rights. You know, you have to have served in one of several positions. Military service grants you voting rights, but so does several other social tasks.
Right. And one assumes you have to be a certain age as well?
Yes. We don't actually have a sort of an official age. But generally speaking, 100 is considered an adult.
Right.
But interestingly, yes, military service grants you voting rights, as does medical professionals, and I believe on land you call them garbage men.
Oh, cleaners.
Yes. Well, down here it's not a fun job.
So there's got to be some perks, I suppose.
Well, yes, anybody who willingly does it deserves respect, you know. Anyway, I'll introduce you. And yeah, swimming up, you find 3 sea elves. The people of the reef, their skin tones have varied from sort of a light grey all the way through to almost a pale yellow. Though most tend towards the bluey-greeny neck of the woods. Yes. Kadakatan is the only male. He is quite a heavy-set sea elf, and he is in the center of the 3. You've noticed almost no chairs down here, which is, again, like, not super
Makes
surprising.
Sense, really.
Yeah.
If you're always floating, you don't need to sit down.
So there are 3 sort of plinths that they sort of stand at, but they don't stand, they just sort of float. Kadakatan, you presume, is the middle one, because he's the man. And Oceanus, when he gets there, introduces you. Councilman Kadakatan, may I present Beryl Ingotsfury, ambassador of Bottledown and representative of our landfolk cousins.
I will do whatever I can kind of manage of like a bow while swimming.
Yeah.
It probably won't be the most it won't be the best bow you've ever seen, but
yeah,
a recognizable, respectful gesture.
Sure. Yes, Oceanus then gestures to a green-skinned woman. This is Councilwoman Valtameri. Valtameri has extremely elaborate hair. It's coiled and plaited. Plaited? Plats, yeah. Coiled and plaited in extremely elaborate ways, and has bits of coral sort of woven into it. And she appears serene. And Council Lady Ianme. And Ianme is the only one that's armed. Ianme has a trident slung over her shoulder. Ianme has faintly orange skin, and not just sort of tan. It's definitely orange. And the webbing on her feet is quite a bit longer. It's almost like a flipper, rather than just a humanoid foot with webbed toes. Yes, she's probably the youngest, but with elves it's hard to say. Like, she's the only one that doesn't look mature. In human terms, sort of 50 plus. She looks like she's middle-aged, whereas the other 2 are older. But I've always sort of imagined that elves, if you live for 1,000 years, you don't want to spend the last 200 very old. You know, you don't want to... I imagine aging working, like, the reason aging accelerates for humans when they get older is your body stops being able to repair itself. So it's very much an accelerating process. I figure that elves aren't, like, crippled with age, like an octogenarian would be, until the last sort of 50 years of their, if they live 1,000. That sort of my vibe on it. That sort of makes
you don't
sense
start aging in earnest until you're at the tail end of the business.
Yeah, you'll be in good shape until you're 900, like that sort of thing.
In the last century, you might need the aquatic equivalent of a walking stick.
Yeah, well, there is that benefit as well. Like the sea elves,
paddle.
You would imagine. Yeah, well, this is it. I would imagine the sea elves have it even easier in that regard. Like, yeah, the water does so much of the work for you. It might well be that they just lose the ability to walk on land, sort of thing. They're just not strong enough to haul themselves out of the water and wander around on land anymore. But they don't.
Gravity, man.
Yeah,
it's everyone's enemy in the end.
Yep.
Random fun fact. Someone was sharing like the list of the rules for making the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote films.
Oh yeah. And
one of the notes is that if at all possible, gravity should be the reason for the failure.
Oh.
They love using it. And you think about it, he falls.
Yeah, he falls a lot.
Yeah, he falls a lot.
Normally with a sign saying, uh-oh.
Yes. I freaking love that cartoon so much.
Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote were my favorite of the Warner Bros. Characters. Happily sit and watch them. I also really used to like Tom and Jerry.
Yes.
I loved Tom and Jerry. To the point where we had several Tom and Jerry videos because I expressed how much I enjoyed Tom and Jerry. Like much preferred to Disney.
Oh god, yes. I wasn't a Disney kid, so like I remember like you know, all the Looney Tunes cartoons and like the Muppet Show. I didn't really watch Disney as a kid.
Well.
Anyway.
And Oceanus says,
I bow myself respectfully to each member of the councilman team.
Well, I am but the guide in this, though if for whatever weight it carries, in my campaign, sea elves live far longer than elves, around 5,000 years. Water has less oxygen, so they don't suffer with oxygen destroying us from the inside. Ha! Freshly baked croissants. I like that a lot.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because fun story, and those who don't know, oxygen is poisonous.
Just kills you real slowly.
It just kills you real slow. It's like you can drown if you drink. You can poison yourself with water if you drink enough of it. Yeah, I really like that. That's very cool at Freshly Baked Croissants, and an excellent stream name as well. Welcome, thank you for joining us.
Now I just want pastry, damn it.
Yes, welcome. This is Corsair's Cove. We play D&D, normally with a larger crew, but on Monday nights it's just Mano and Mano. It's just me and my lovely wife, the mother of bunnies. Yes, Oceana says, well, I am but the... if my opinion matters at all, I believe this to be an excellent solution to our problem, but I shall leave the explanation to Missing Its Fury. And he sort of bows and almost like reverses, and it's... For this, it's giving precedence is actually dropping lower rather than moving back. So he sinks to give you the floor, as it were.
Oh. Cool.
The three listen attentively.
Right. I will explain briefly the overarching concept of the Alliance, essentially that all of them agree not to attack each other. And if anyone does attack one of the other members of the Alliance, the rest will be like... and together we will drive the evil Sahuagin back to the depths, ensuring safety for all aquatic species and hopefully uninhibited trading for the land dwellers.
Ianme asks, what benefit does this bring Bottle Down?
Well, Bottle Down is a trade-in hub, you see. So anything that would interfere with our ability to trade is a problem. So essentially, we don't want a war going on underwater that may drag our trading ships into it.
I see.
And also, we have absolutely no qualms about trading with the water-dwelling folk. I'm sure you have many interesting things that we don't have on land that we would be happy to receive, possibly in exchange for something that we have that you may not, whether that be food or weapons or simply resources that are hard to come by this deep underwater. Bottle Down is a small town, but we're hoping to, expand and be a larger, more prosperous place.
Ianme seems completely satisfied with that response. Oh, wow. I hate that turtles, being giant turtles, only live 80 years in raw, so that made them live far longer, 800, live 800 years. Beings with draconic blood like Dragonborn and kobolds live up to 8,000 years, depending on how much draconic blood they have inside them. I like that particularly. It never made sense to me that Dragonborn don't live very long.
Yeah, that really doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. Mind you, you've got to have some races that only live as long as humans.
The humans just feel left out,
Yeah. So otherwise it's them and gnomes. No, gnomes live quite long. What am I talking about? Yeah, humans would be just about the shortest lived of all races if you didn't have, so it's them and orcs. Orcs, giants live fairly long. Yeah, all of this is, it's just a little unfair, I suppose. Even Genasi. And I'm like, Genasi are magical. Like, what? Yeah, a lot of these things, when you cross a human with somebody else, you ought to live a bit longer with it, I would say. But there we go. It's got to be fair somehow. I love that. Or Aarakocra, on the other hand, lived 30. And I'm like, that tracks. I don't mind that. But yeah, I would say, turtles, living quite long. That makes sense. Yeah. Anyway.
Also, turtles are adorable and shouldn't be allowed to die.
You mean turtles, or do you mean turtles?
Turtles. Every turtle character I've met has been a delight. So.
Oh, yeah, true.
Need to keep them around.
Voltameri says, what then? I suppose you don't have any detail regarding military maneuvers. What the plan is for dealing with the Sahuagin. At this stage, the agreement is very much just, let's come together and figure it out.
I would say that would be the most accurate way to put it, ma'am. Yes, we're just trying to bring everyone together, and then we will discuss how best to proceed. Like, for example, if you want to send a representative, everyone's currently gathered in the Lizard's Folk kind of swamp residence. And if you wanted to send someone, they would be very welcome.
Oceanus would interject with an if I may. Thus far, the Lokenthar, the Merfolk, and the Lizard Folk are in this alliance. We were not considered for the initial approach due to the inclusion of the Coalinth. But apparently my observations regarding the Coalinth and their motivations may have had something to do with the Merfolk ambassador, Yevgathah, and Ianme and Valtameri both don't look like they recognize the name, but Kadagatan says, yes, the Duke. Arrogant, pompous prick, but he's good at what he does, I suppose. Yes, that was my read on the man, but he did come up with the solution Miss Ingott's Fury outlined. I believe it has merit. Kadagatan says, yes, it is a decent idea, but what good are a bunch of allies if we leave ourselves undefended and the Coalinth betray us? An attack as large as the last, with no defenses to stop them, and there'd be nothing left for our allies to save.
See, this is where Karen just is like, good point. How the shit do I ameliorate that concern? Well.
Oh. Holy hell. GM Workshop is raiding. GM Workshop, you bloody champion. Thank you so much for the raid. Potatoes
Hi,
in
everybody.
chat, everyone. Welcome. We are playing D&D. I am Josh the Pirate. This is my wife, the mother of bunnies. And yeah, Shenanigans McLollygag. Thank you so much for joining us. Holy hell is right. That is where we came from. Oh gosh, what were you guys doing? Guys, if you haven't already heard of them, yes, go and check out GM's Workshop. They are splendid human beings. GM Workshop. It's the GM's work. Sorry, that's just in my head. That's what it is. Masked Bandit, welcome as well. Thank you so much for joining us. You and your raiders are very hecking welcome. We are playing Mano a Mano, which is our one-on-one D&D campaign. West Wolf Esquire, thank you very much for the follow, Avast, matey, and such. We are Corsairs Cove. We play D&D several times a week. Different campaigns, ongoing stories, persistent worlds. On Thursday night, we have a Humblewood-themed game. It's a Humblewood game. And tonight we are doing... at this point, we are drifting a little bit off the original. But this is Ghost of
Just a little
Saltmarsh.
bit.
The game from this. Holy hell is right. Alrighty. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Karen?
And my character, Beryl the Bard, is currently trying to convince some sea elves that they should join an aquatic alliance. And they've just thrown me a real curveball, and I'm trying to think of an answer that isn't going to start a war.
Yes. I guess you know this is a city in hell. Ah, I see. This city and that city. This is a river. The river Dis River. In There Be Dragons.
Yes.
Do you remember?
The river Dis.
Yeah.
You gotta follow Dis River, not Dat River.
Because the DM called it that, and I don't know how he didn't see it coming, that we would all take the piss out of it.
It was
Which
glorious.
river? Dis River, obviously. Yeah. So yes, we are currently negotiating a peace treaty between the Coalinth and the Sea Elves, with the intention of getting both races into the alliance to fight the nasty evil Sahuagin. And one of the councilmen of the Sea Elves has just posed a very valid point. The proposed deal is, if everybody's in the alliance and one group attacks any other group in the alliance, everyone in the alliance goes for that person. Solid idea. I thought a really valid solution. However, Councilman Katagatan has just pointed out that if they send all of their forces away, and then the Coalinth betray them, yes, it'll go badly for the Coalinth, but by that point, it will already be a real problem. And we've just been raided again. By Promethean.
Oh, hey, Promethean and friends. Welcome. Everybody's coming to the Corsairs Cove tonight.
Welcome, everybody. I'm going to throw some raid emotes up in chat as well. Welcome to the Corsairs Cove. Exactly. Promethean, you bloody legend, thank you so much for the raid. Let's have a shout out for our two raiders. Shout out at GM Workshop and shout out for Promethean.
We're raiding your village. Surrender your women. Wow. If we're talking about Corsairs Cove specifically, you can have me and the female rabbit. Dinny, we're being abducted. Oh. She's lying on the ground with her legs like spluted out the side.
Promethean was playing Ghost of Tsushima. How did that go? And Black Rose Darkthorn, hey buddy, 71. So the last I remember you rolled, Black Rose, you got 67. That's 2 on the other side of the number we're looking for. Well done. You're just missing it just slightly. Just slightly.
Just skirting around the edges.
Well, guys, we are playing Mano a Mano. We have, yes, we are negotiating a peace treaty. What Why are we rolling? Dr. Quark, Black Rose always does that.
We may have at one point said that if they're older 69, they got a sex cult. So now every time they turn up, they roll to see if they can get a sex cult.
We have had it as well, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
Black
we
Rose
did have
who
a
did
sex
it.
cult.
Yeah, Dr. Quark now rolls. Yes, and there was
And there it goes. Yeah. Guys,
84.
there's only so many sex cults in the world. Like, come on.
There can only be one sex cult. Beryl.
Ooh.
And Lawride is here. Hi, Lawride. And with that, hype back to ancient Egypt, so I go to raid. Explore the tombs. Yes. Hey, Ardana. Good to see you, my dear. Cool. Well, yes. The valid point has been made. One true sex cult to rule.
One sex cult to rule them all, and in the darkness bind them.
Shibari style.
Hey, is the Zombage command
Yes,
still?
of course it is.
How does my Zombage go?
I got a 2.
Yeah, I got locked out. You were too fast for me.
So yeah, the valid point has been made. What if we get stabbed in the back?
Okay. Oh, a 6. Not bad.
Like, out of 20, it is quite bad.
Oh. Look, could have been a 2. All right. Beryl is going to take a moment to collect her thoughts. She doesn't want to give a shitty answer to this. Hopefully they'll respect that she hasn't just been like, oh, no, don't never do that. She's like, yeah, they might do that. Would I know geographically their kind of physical, like, relationship to each other?
No.
No.
I don't believe you've ever been. The Coalinth wouldn't have shared that information. Masked Bandit, thank you very much for the follow, matey, as well. Avast and such. However, I would point out you haven't mentioned yet the event that happened on the way here.
No. Don't know if that'll make it better or worse telling them I got attacked on the way in.
Well, Google Shibari the pics. Yeah, that's a safe search, Cosmic Voyager.
Safe search on for that one.
Yes.
Sorry, should have warned you. Technically kinky. Can be done non-kinkily, but technically kinky.
It's technically a kink thing. It came up from another show a long time ago now.
Oh my goodness, so long ago.
That AJ Winters from Winter's Tales ran, that Karen played in, where, yes, there was a zombie and they tied it up Shibari style. Because one of them was a sex worker.
I was playing a sex worker and I had to tie someone up, and for flavor I said I'll do it Shibari style. And
so zombie Shibari.
So I tied up a zombie Shibari style, and thus Zombage was born.
And I was the tech of that game, so I made a chat command, and we had a lot of fun with it. It was a while back.
It was a while back, a minute ago. Okay, I'm going to... I will answer that question more directly, but first I would like to let you know what happened on the way here. We were attacked by the Sahuagin. Well, a Sahuagin and a number of their small shark-like bitey babies. And
Ian May looks specifically like she's encountered them.
Yeah, we were able to, fight them off and send the swarm scurrying away. But I suppose, having been attacked like that, so close to your town, I can't help but feel that the greatest threat to your safety right now is the Sahuagin. And if you stand alone against them, you may well lose. And while obviously I cannot promise that, is it the Coalinth or the Yevgathah? The Coalinth, isn't it? Coalinth. Yep. And while I cannot promise you that the Coalinth will never betray the Alliance and try to cause you harm, and may well succeed, I think at this moment in history, there is a bigger problem that needs to be considered before that.
Make a persuasion check.
I think that's what I was going to say.
It's very good.
This is the trouble with me playing characters that are like negotiators or like military. I have no like...
I think you're doing really well, my love.
Thank you.
Make a persuasion check. Let's see how well you do.
I don't consider myself a very persuasive person. Oh shit, 24.
24. Oceanus will chime in with...
Oi. Stop it.
Dog or rabbit?
The dog.
Trying to get to the rabbits?
Merge through the barrier into the rabbits area.
What's the word? Siri. Yes, Oceanus would say all three of them are very much considering your words. Oceanus would say there was also the Colinth emissary. Ambassador is the wrong word. He actually didn't have the authority to negotiate. Simply bring a message. He had not come to be a member of the alliance. He had come to seek an alliance against us. And all three of the other races just told him to bugger off, which was good. Which is
promising, really.
Yes, but also he expressed his own personal reason for desiring the continued warfare against us, which seemed to me to lack any grounds for reality. Apparently, someone's been raiding their birthing beds and slaying their young. Which means two things. Firstly, that they are slightly depleted manpower-wise for the next little while, and also that someone else has been doing that, because I don't believe we have. And he looks to the council at this, and all three... I mean, you can make me an insight check, Beryl.
Oh, shit! 25! The super high, super low continues.
Yep,
very much
does.
so.
9, 25, 25, 24 are the last 5 rolls.
Either or.
Yep. They all seem like, we don't do that. We definitely don't kill babies. Not unless they're trying to eat us. But
I don't like killing babies either, unless they're trying to bite my head off, in which case,
but our interaction with that Sahuagin on the way here, and he looks at you, Beryl, and I'm going to let this 25 carry over. Demon babies, great. I will save that for later. The problem is, Cosmic Voyager, I find I get a little bit of pushback every now and again from a player who doesn't want to kill a baby, even if it is a demon baby. And that's fair.
No one really wants to kill a demon baby. It's not its fault.
But yeah, no, I've had monster babies several times where I don't particularly have an issue with it, because in my head, it's not anything like a human baby. It doesn't look like a human baby. It's just a child. Or it's just the young of something that is still trying to kill you. Yeah, exactly, triggered. And I do try and avoid triggering my players.
Yeah. We don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but...
I inadvertently did it to a player who was about 8 months pregnant. And it was a really... I did not in any way intend it, because in my imagination, it was a monster she was fighting. Yeah. In her imagination, it looked quite childlike. Yeah. And that's fair. So yes, I'm tend to try and be careful about that. But I think I did a good enough job of describing the Sahuagin babies as not human.
No, they were basically like miniature sharks that were vaguely humanoid and very, very bitey.
Sharks with arms, really. Sharks with 4 arms. It was creepy, really. It was what I was getting at.
And look, a baby crab once bit me on the foot, and I still flicked that little bastard off because he was biting my foot. He drew blood.
But Beryl, I will give you, with your inside of 25, I'll let that carry over for this one, because He has not mentioned what you found in the Sahuagin's backpack.
Ah.
And he's giving you the option to say it your own self.
Right.
Or to lead him into not mentioning it.
I feel like we should mention it.
He is basically just trying to defer to you. He's not in any way saying, I don't think we should. He is putting it to you subtly in a way that you're the ambassador, you make this case, I'm just helping you with maybe another piece of information that might help with this argument.
Yeah. As loath as I am to go into gory details, the grown Sahuagin was carrying a coral bag that contained parts, we should say, of
young Colin,
which we were, before we arrived, accompanied by Shimmereef from the merfolk, but she has taken this item back to the lizard folk, so we can prove in some way that you're not baby killers.
That did the killing, at least of those infants, which may go in some way to prove that it's not us, and maybe
that
help.
That is the hope, because I don't believe you to be baby killers.
And the council, Voltameri and Ianme both seem convinced. Beryl, your persuasion check, very much as yes. Ianme says, "I believe it is important that we give this alliance our full backing, and I don't think the alliance will request us to send all of our military forces away.
I don't think anyone would want you to leave yourselves completely vulnerable.
Particularly if we're at war with the Sahuagin in a far more aggressive manner than we have had some interaction with them, some aggression from them, but not, I wouldn't have said we were in a war footing. But we have aggressive patrols. We are very strong defensively here. And there have been probes. Voltameri says, I think we should trust to hope. All hope to trust. The lizard folk are strong, and they have been weakened by what the Sahuagin have done, but if we can make them strong again, then worthy allies. Stronger than any Coalinth. The Coalinth fear us. Otherwise they wouldn't be demanding this.
And they certainly fear to attack you without the support of others.
I think I too give this my support. And all eyes sort of go to Kadakatan. And Kadakatan is sort of playing with, he's wearing a light robe, and he appears to be fondling a necklace sort of underneath, sort of like in thought. And he says, I require time. I do not believe this is a decision that should be made in haste, but I will give it all due consideration. If Miss Ingot's Fury would not mind waiting a day, I shall present my thoughts on the morrow. I shall consult with several of our citizens, their opinions, and I encourage my fellow councilmen to do the same. We thank you, Beryl Ingot's Fury and Oceanus. Good job. And, yeah, he nods to you, and that pretty much concludes the meeting, unless you have anything else you want to say.
No, I feel like I am being politely dismissed, and that is fine with Beryl, whose stress levels are up there right now.
Hmm. And Oceanus bows and says, "We thank you for hearing us out." Um, and Ianmei says, any news regarding your mission? The vessel is no longer an issue or concern. It is now in the hands of the people of Bottledown and may well be useful in the fight against the Sahuagin. It has been refit as a war vessel, though nowhere near the Revenge.
Not even close. The Revenge would just obliterate it.
The Revenge was one of the most feared warships ever. It took a fleet of several vessels to bring her down.
Wow.
Yes, it does, Cosmic Voyager. If you have some channel points to spend, you may very well drop some inspiration on Beryl if you like.
You can give it to the DM, but, why would you?
And if you have 10,000, you can buy an NPC name. And I'm the kind of person who likes to go all in on that. Tell me all about them. Recently, we have had Welcrum, a Strig Paladin, an Owl Folk Paladin over in Humblewood. We've had, that was bought by I'll See You in Hell. Dan Swelto bought the host of the birthday party in the Dare in our Call of Cthulhu game we played, whose name escapes me. Meredith.
Meredith?
Yes, and he described her as a real bitch, and she was. Absolute cow. Like,
how does one sum up Meredith?
Pig's blood. Pig's blood poured on someone in a closet. Yeah, that. And
which is just unhygienic apart from anything else.
I think my favourite of late has been Chaotic Goblins, and Chaotic Goblin is well named because they bought a character called Shenanigans Testicle.
Who got toned down a wee bit to be Shenesticles.
Bishop Blood, have you bought one, or are you saving up for one? Can't wait for mine.
I'm sorry, the dog is scratching herself real loudly behind
I'm trying to remember. I'm now panicking. Did Bishop Blood? What one did Bishop Blood buy? Just check back through my messages. I do not see a Bishop Blood one. Or was Bishop Blood the one who bought one for Karen? Oh, that's right. Yeah. And Karen has to come up with the one for the Strahd crew. Yes. Well, Strahd will be starting back up in the new year, so you do have to wait. Yeah, I thought that was the one. Yeah. But yeah, Karen has to come up with it. So, Oceanus takes you out. Sorry for the homework.
How dare you!
It was a really cool idea, and I do not regret doing it at all, but it has made, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, no, which one's which? I do try and keep them coming out fairly quickly, so I don't have to remember them for very long. The most recent one is actually, was bought by Daria. On Wednesday last. Girthy the Terran.
Yeah, Girthy the Terran.
That's also coming in Strahd as well. So, Oceanus leads you out and says, perhaps a dinner at Beryl.
I would love some dinner, and maybe whatever counts down here is a drink.
Oh no, I just got 9 Black Friday on Amazon. They were less than half price, and buy 2 get 1 free for D&D books. Yes, I do have many D&D books.
Well, if there's any you don't have.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to give Amazon my money.
No, I haven't bought a D&D book in ages. I keep getting given them for Christmas and birthday presents because it's what my family knows I do.
They find out what you like and then bombard you with gifts and that genre.
Yeah. Unicorn stuff and,
You're rude.
Unicorn stuff and D&D books. I mean, heck, Ghost of Saltmarsh was a gift from my mum and dad.
It was.
And Candlekeep Mystery was as well. Yeah. And your mum got me Fitzbarn's Treasury of Dragons last Christmas.
Yes, she did.
Except she didn't. She got me Curse of Strahd, and then I took it in and traded it because I'd already been
bought
Curse of Strahd.
She doesn't know.
I've got one very nice copy of Curse of Strahd, and never shall I mention who bought it. It was my parents, but also Karen's parents.
It was bought by whoever's parents are within
earshot. Yes. I actually think I kept her copy because it was slightly less damaged, and it was really, like, the place I took it back to, I was like, hey, I don't have the receipt, but I know it was bought here. Can I do a trade? And they were like, as long as it's in mint condition. And I was like, it is. And they said, no, it's not. It's slightly bent. And I was just like, that's because it's been in a hot car for 4 hours. Leave it sandwiched between a couple of other books. It'll be fine. Anyway. Yeah, he takes you out.
Digress.
And you find an underwater tavern.
Sweet. What is it called? Chat, we need some fun songs that have water in the title. Or can be replaced with, like, water. The Eel and Barnacle?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Okay, it's the Eel and Barnacle.
In the British pub tradition name of the something and something. The Salty Sea Dog.
The Salty Sea Dog. I actually like that. All right. Yeah. The salty sea dog and swaying. How do beverages even work? In a closed container with a straw is how they work.
You do it
like in space.
There's this chocolate you can get from Lindt if you go to their specialty shop, and it's basically a chocolate stick. And if you bite off the end, it's full of liquid. Their ones are cherry kirsch sticks. So you bite the end off, and then it's got cherry liqueur inside. So you basically have to bite the end off it. That would be how beverages work. They give you like a little water balloon.
Yeah.
You've got to bite the end off.
I'm going to riff on that.
There we go.
So yes, Oceanus takes you to the Salty Sea Dog, Elon Barnacle.
Cosmic Voyager makes an excellent point. They just have to be denser than water to stay in the glass.
This is very true.
Very true.
And so cool to see if it's a different color. Yeah.
What are we doing? We both used to work in bars. We know how to layer drinks, guys.
Oh yeah. But I love underwater lakes.
Oh my god, yes.
In fact, let's go there. But the Eel and Barnacle, or the Salty Sea Dog, has a beer garden with a lagoon. No, it's just denser water. It's just salty,
or
really
saltier
brine.
Yeah. Like if sea animals swim into it, they actually die because they can't breathe in there.
There is a brine pool, a brine lake, which has a small community of crustaceans living in it. And they are the specialty dish of the Salty Sea Dog. The Salty Sea Dog has an old wood. It's wooden, which is unusual. Which means it's the sign sticking out above the door, but it's made of wood, so it floats. So it's upside down. So it's floating. It's swaying in the breeze, but it's hanging up. And it has been painted. It's been painted with that in mind. So and the picture on it is a boot with a sea dog, as in the fish, swimming out of it. And yes, it is only partially indoors. Like the whole thing is fairly al fresco, and there is it's mostly percussion, a 3-piece percussion band, playing a lively tune or two. And yes, Oceanus gets you a couple of, it's coconuts. But they're obviously hollow, and they've been hollowed out so that you can fill them with a fluid and then stopper it so that you can move around with them. And you have been also given a small piece of reed that you can shove in through, take a sip.
Excellent. Excellent. So we
and
have...
then you simply bend the reed so that the fluid doesn't get out.
Love it.
And Oceanus says, that is better, as he takes you outside to sit and watch the lagoon, watch a bunch of lobster-like crustaceans. It's not frolicking exactly, but sort of,
They're going about their crab-like
business, but then a sea elf comes out and feeds them. Gives them little chunks of fish, and as the fish sort of passes through, the brine has a visibly different texture to it, and as the fish sort of fall and float on top of the brine, and these crabs sort of grab them, and then this person hears from the kitchen area grab another while you're there. And so they quickly just dash their hand into the brine lake and pull out one that slowly, but that very rapidly drowns.
Aww.
And it carries it back in. And Oceanus just sort of leans back against there is a fence composed of it's long tubular coral. And it's, this fence composed of that, and he leans against it and just sort of watches the scene and listens to the music. It's good.
I can't help but think of the scene in Finding Nemo where the crabs are hanging out above the water output.
Yeah, exactly that. Are
there many other people in the pub? Is it busy?
It's mid-afternoon, so it's not super busy yet. The sea elves would appear to have a similar deal to the Spaniards. And if you ask, Oceanus says, yes, a lot of people take a siesta around this time of day, because the night is a good time to get things done. Biodegradable balloons of beverages, little orbs that you pop like Tide Pods. Oh my god, yes.
Love it. Don't eat Tide Pods, everyone.
There is an excellent video that Brendan Lee Mulligan did concerning Tide Pods. If you search Brendan Lee Mulligan and Tide Pods, you'll find it.
Great.
It's a college humor video. It's very, very funny. Would recommend. Cool.
How would our crab special be prepared that we're about to?
God.
Because I feel like they would just heat the water around the crab.
They do. They wrap it in sea grasses first, and then they broil it in the water. They use heat water. It is a magical process. Jello shots are very popular. Yes, hell yeah.
All the sea elves just doing Jello shots around the crab lagoon. You're gonna use your tongue to get dressed out.
I would imagine, Beryl, you're getting used to the saltiness of most of the flavors.
Yeah.
And you find that you've noticed, I think, that a lot of the flavors of aquatic races' foods are very strong. The spices tend to be very strong. They have to be to overcome the inherent saltiness of the food. So yeah, this is very much in the opposite direction. And yes, it is the seagrass, and you can see it being done. It's all al fresco. They don't have pots and pans. They're just basically a pair of tongs as someone casts the spell. And Oceanus explains, he says, you see, what they're doing is, now that it's wrapped, they'll just heat the water around it. The trick is not to overheat the water. You have to don't want to boil it so much as stew it. But with magic, you can accelerate the process quite quickly. That way, the flesh comes out extremely succulent. The beauty of it is, You don't need to flavor it at all. They are so beautifully flavorsome of their own selves. Oceanus and I are of the same mind. Why do you need tomato sauce on a hot dog? Hot dog, sure, but a sausage? A sausage in a bun? A well-cooked sausage has more than enough flavor. You don't need tomato sauce or mustard. Poached crab. Exactly. There you go. It's poached in seagrasses, Beryl.
Beautiful.
And Oceanus says, no. Don't want him to spoil the mood too much. What are we going to do about Kadagatan?
You don't think he's gonna come back and agree?
He made a good point.
Hmm.
And it's really about trust and about hope, as Yanmei and Valtameri said.
Yes.
And Kadagatan doesn't. It occurs
And the trouble
to me,
is, we have no real reason for him to trust them. Like,
Ooh.
it's not like we can be like, oh, you can totally trust him. They said this, but because they haven't, and they won't.
Perhaps we can. Perhaps this evening we should visit.
Yeah? You think he'd be okay with that?
He can always tell us to bugger off.
Well, yes, quite.
But I feel if we go and see him, see if we can't convince him.
Or at least answer any questions he might have thought of.
Exactly.
In the interim. Oh, I'm not used to this sort of high-stress situation, Oceanus. There's a lot riding on this.
You hide it very well.
Thank you. Sometimes it doesn't feel like I do.
There is a potential solution as well. A compromise.
Ooh.
The Sea Elves don't actually sign on to the Alliance as a whole, but we do agree to a truce with the Coalinth. That if we break it, the Coalinth will then have the full support of the Alliance against us once the Sahuagin are dealt with. But it seems like a coward's way out. Not my
It does
preference.
a bit. It's not ideal.
You don't want to... When all but the Sahuagin of the major underwater races are joining together, you don't want to be the ones on the outside.
We want to be,
We want to be part of this.
Quiet.
Even when there is a town like Bottledown involved, we are not... I think it is short-sighted of Kadagatan to oppose this. Even if it does mean we get attacked.
I suppose I'm a sort of person who believes in working together rather than apart, particularly if you have similar goals. It seems like a waste of everyone's energy to try and do it on their own when we could all do it together.
Yes. Well, let's have an hour or two here, and then go and chat with our...
Go visit our...
objectional council member. So you have a couple of beverages. Beryl, you find your drink is... It's quite beery. It's not quite beer, but it is quite beery, and it is made of... It is beer-like. It's beer-adjacent. And it has been made of something that tastes not unlike mango. And when Oceanus inquires, he says, don't go too hard on them. They are quite strong, actually.
Oh,
but you can't taste it. That's the problem.
It doesn't taste alcoholic. It tastes like mangoes.
That is the trick. Quaffable, I believe is the term.
Yes. Do some more later.
Exactly. Well, he technically only has about 10 hit points. because he had a combat earlier, so he is actually going to take a short rest. And whilst he's an NPC, so he actually doesn't have hit dice per se, I will get 3 people in chat to please roll him 1d8. So, if I can have 3 people in chat, type !roll space the number 8. Not a d8, just 8.
Just 8, sorry.
Yep, !roll space 8 in chat. That will generate his hit dice. 7 from Bishop Blood, an excellent start. That brings him up to 17 of his 30. I think he's got 30 hit points. He's not the toughest guy. Yeah, 30 HP. That'll do.
Probably do the
couple
same
more, and yeah, if you are injured as well, this would constitute a short rest, which means you can also recharge your... Oh, Lizelle got a 6 as well. Nice, guys.
Nice.
That brings it to 23.
I never find my hit dice when I need them.
You're a bard. You have d8s.
Here we go. Take short rest.
And, I don't know, Cosmic Voyager, somebody else?
Oh, shoot! 7?
Max.
Plus 1, so got max on the first dice.
Yeah, not just off max, that's not bad. How many do you need?
And that was a 7, so I'm back to 37 out of 38. So I'm only 1 off full, so...
They recharge every day. You can burn another. You have 5. Siri.
No.
I might just roll a d8 as well.
Because the rabbits went outside because they were sick of her stalking.
Wow, I also got a 7. Which means he's back to full.
Nice!
That is exactly the number I needed. So he's back up to 30.
Excellent work, everybody.
Good job. If you want to say that you just use 1 more, then you can get her to max as well.
Yeah, let's just say she burns
just
one.
why not, you know? And I think we may have a short breaklet there. Just a quick one to calm the dog down and, yeah, sort ourselves out and be back in 5 minutes. Say goodbye, Karen.
See you soon.
See you soon, guys. Bye. Fast and ahoy, mateys. We are back for more Mano a Mano. So, Beryl. You've had a short rest. You've had a couple of hours in a pub with your new friend Oceanus, who you've known for like 4 days. But he seems like a nice guy. You saved his life.
What a 4 days those have been.
Yeah, you've saved his life. He's not saved your bacon exactly, but yeah, he's had your back notably several times. And yeah, he's now showing you around his hometown, Shimmereef. Yeah, he says, well, shall we to Catacatans?
No time like the present.
Well, no, exactly. So he takes you down, 4 days, huh? It feels like months. Yes, since August.
That is the trouble with when you spend like a few days with someone, but it's been like sessions and sessions and sessions, and you're just like, wait, when did we meet?
Yeah, and you realize it was only like, it's probably been more than 4 days. 5?
Less
like,
than a week.
It's been less than a week. Yeah. Because a lot of these, the thing about one-on-one D&D is that it does tend to be quite RP heavy because combats can be quite unbalanced.
Yes.
And yeah, there's only a few classes that I would be up for trying this with. Druid is another. I reckon a druid could pull off one-on-one, as could a cleric. But yeah, I mean, Beryl has 3 offsiders. And
I just
she
keep
has
collecting them.
Functionally a full party. She's just the only player. I mean, heck, actually counting
Shimmereef. Conversations with each other, and I just sit here watching Josh.
Yeah.
Remember what voices he gave them all.
Which is going to be really fun when I hand the roll back over, because I intend to be the last session IDM of this campaign for a while. So I get to be Beryl, and Karen has to make up bullshit because we are off script now.
Oh dear.
This Shimmereef is not in Ghost of Saltmarsh. Even the name.
Good to know. Good to know.
Go. Go, Brian Oceanus. Yeah, he leads you to and he says he tells you it's one of the older neighborhoods, but you wouldn't know. It is thicker, if anything. It is deeper. It goes up and down quite a bit more. There is, and he takes you down into a canal within like a crevasse rather in the reef. It's a little darker down here. It's not dark, but it is darker. And the buildings are, you would guess, very established. A lot of the dwellings in this place are like the pub, rather open, so like al fresco. It's like they don't bother with windows. Why would you? Weather down here is really just not a thing. When you're this deep, like up at the surface, a storm above water can be quite unpleasant below water. But if you're more than 100 feet deep, you're just not going to feel it. So there isn't weather down here. So you don't need windows. You don't need roofs even, really. The only reason to have them is privacy and security. And the Sea Elves seem to have a fairly lax policy towards both. However, older members seem to have... basically, the more... The longer you've been building your residence, the more the coral is built up, the more privacy you have. Catacatan has a fairly large dwelling, several large chambers, and Oceanus takes you to the doorway, which is down in the crevasse a bit, he would sort of knock on the coral.
And Beryl will do like a quick I better straighten the helmet,
And then the hair just immediately floats again.
For those wondering, Beryl was inspired by Dolly Parton. So she's got bouncy blonde hair.
Tons of it as well. Would you have braided it or tied it back or something?
I probably would have braided it down to fit the helmet over the top properly.
Yeah.
But the end of it's like floating.
Yeah, floating free. Yes.
Should we buy a gift?
No.
With dwarves,
no
you
need.
only bring a gift if...
Oh, well, if you would like to.
I don't have anything, that's the problem. We're the gift. Our company is the gift.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's not really an elf custom. That's fine. The door, it's not really a door, it's a doorway, but you still politely wait outside until you have permission to come in.
Just like, hello!
A younger female sea elf, and I say younger, she's still mature, swims up, and she bears a resemblance to Catacatan, and says, hello, you're the dwarf.
Yes,
my father mentioned you.
We're hoping he might be available to have a quick chat.
Oh, he's in. I'll see if he's willing to receive you.
Thank you.
She does seem, however, like she says, I'm Rano Mashibe. Nice to meet you. And she offers her hand, like she's unsure. Like you do it like this, right?
I'll give her a very warm handshake.
And Oceanus looks approvingly, like a pro, like somebody who's learned this recently, but now is very proud of himself for knowing it.
You do the hand thing, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't miss handshakes during the pandemic. I did miss the awkward, oh, are we gonna do it dance?
But she seems excited to sort of meet somebody, meet a dwarf, meet a land folk. And she
I
says,
am pretty special.
yeah, she says, I'd love to, if you have a free evening. Dad says she would say, Father says you're around until tomorrow. I'd love to ask you some questions if you're not busy tonight.
Oh, well, I think we were just gonna head back to the pub for the evening after we've had a chat with your father, so you're more than welcome to join us for
or possibly a different beverage, a different place. But yes, certainly.
Oh, if you know somewhere else, Oceanus, you lead the way.
I am showing Miss Beryl the sights, but Rano, you would be more than welcome.
Pub crawl.
And you get that Oceanus actually knows this girl, not super well, but he shortened her name. There's a familiarity, and yes, she says, "Well, I'll go and ask Father."
Thank you.
And yes, she swims in, and about 30 seconds later, she comes back out and says, "He's prepared to talk to you. I'll and she says, Oceanus, how about Lautan for this evening? Sorry, Lautans, as in Lautans. And he says, an inspired suggestion. Yes, I haven't eaten there in a long time.
I like the name. That's all I gotta contribute.
Lautan is the owner and an excellent chef. It has a splendid view, good for a sunset dinner.
Wonderful. Well, we better wrap up here before sunset then.
The Shimmereef sunsets are to be appreciated. Thank you, Rano. Would you mind going and booking? And Rano Mashibe says, not at all, and swims away. You go inside.
I assume this is his daughter.
It is, yes. And she says, oh, he's in his study, 2 chambers in and on the left. And yeah, you swim in, and you find you find a lot down here. There's not a lot of furniture at all, really. The spaces are very much just spaces for holding things and putting things in. The houses don't tend to be particularly large, because when you don't have a lot of stuff, you just don't need a lot of places to put it. So there is a sort of a private congregation area for the family, and another place for food preparation and consumption, and then private chambers where people sleep.
And not sleep.
Well, that too. Yeah, you swim through, and you find Katakatan in a chamber. It is. I actually have quite a strong mental image of this one. It's like Bilbo's study. It has that same sort of. I think all of these chambers tend to be a bit rounded, a bit spherical, like very much like a hobbit hole. He is floating at a desk, scribing something with ink into seaweed. And he says, Miss Ingotsfury.
Sorry to intrude
come
upon
to
your
persuade me from my intransigence, have you?
Well, not exactly. I hoped I might be able to answer any questions you may have, as it seems you felt you had quite a lot to think about.
I do. I know I sound like the only person standing in the way of an excellent idea. I don't like to rush.
Oh, no. And I do understand how important a decision it is. And there have been times in this whole business where I felt like I'm playing with forces much larger than myself. And that can be intimidating.
Do you know exactly... do you know quite how large a force it is that you are playing with?
Probably not, if I'm being completely honest. Like, for obvious reasons, I don't think everyone's being 100% transparent with how many people they have to bring to the war, so to speak.
He smiles and says, "That was, however, not my point. I mean the Sahuagin."
Oh. Well, I guess not for them either.
See, the Sahuagin aren't a new threat.
No.
They have begun being aggressive to the lizard folk. But I would be reluctant to enrage them. It is said they pray to a kraken.
Oh.
And no force I am aware of can fight a kraken. Even an alliance of all the undersea races. It would be safer, sea elves, if the kraken ignored us. And if the Sahuagin want it to come, Sahuagin pray to it. It could well come and destroy us. I don't want to provoke it by entering into an alliance with goblins. Beryl, you can make a perception check, and you can ask a question as well.
How much do I know about krakens? Dirty 20 on with the perception. The highs or lows continue.
Beryl, he is toying again with that necklace.
Can I see it?
It is golden. And make me a history check. With advantage. It was very recent.
Can I guess, is it like the priestess's one?
It is.
I just rolled a 23.
It is not dissimilar to the priestess's one. You can't see it very well. It is under his clothes, but you see the end of a single tentacle. It is... So the priestess's one was a single loop with tentacle hooks, like tentacles hooked around. It was just a loop that was a tentacle.
Yeah.
His isn't the same. It, however, has the same design. It is a loop with tentacle holding onto itself on a chain around his neck. So it's a little loop about that big hanging there, and he's playing with it, and it just very briefly it sticks up above his collar, and you can see half of it. When he is talking about, and he does this particularly when he is talking about the kraken.
He's not a kraken worshipper, is he, by any chance? Is he a traitor? Is he double dipping? Is he being bribed?
You may make checks if you like. You may use magic spells if you like.
I don't think I have a spell that, like, if I charm him, he'll know.
Do you have detect magic?
No, I just have to spell magic. And I don't have to spell magic because I don't have any 3rd level spell slots. Oh, is he charmed? Can I just see if it's up? Can I just try and sense magical stuff?
Arcana check. And Moondare, thank you very much for the follow. A vast matey and such.
Dirty 20 on the Arcana.
Let me just check. Dirty 20 on an Arcana check. There is a nasty kind of magic emanating from him.
From him generally, or the necklace specifically?
With a 20, probably the necklace. The necklace more than him, but him as well, I suppose, is the trick.
Really wish I had a 3rd level spell slot right now.
It is very powerful. You can sense that. Like, that's why you can sense it at all, is quite how... Make an insight check as well, now that you've sensed it.
22.
Oof, you are.
Goodness me.
You're killing it. Alrighty.
Did I bribe the digital randomizer tonight?
Oh, look, it's making up for some other times.
Yeah, it really is.
You feel a malevolent energy. You feel like there's more than one person watching you when you look at him.
Ooh.
And while you're doing this, while you look at him, an eel swims in. It appears to actually live in part of his desk. How did that happen? It swims out and coils around his shoulders, and he tickles it under its chin. It would appear to be a pet or a tame creature. And Oceanus has not observed these things. He says, well, these are good points, councilman. But I think my notes are being very strange. They're not staying in place. They're just jumping around, and I don't know why.
Helpful.
I can bigger.
Tech's been a little jittery tonight, generally.
It has, yes. Okay. I don't know why you were doing that, but no, there we are. Okay. I should. Cosmic Voyager, if you want to name the eel,
Elon.
Elon. That's its name. Fucking done.
Sold.
Don't need to drop a 10 on that. That's fine.
Eel on the eel.
Eel on the eel.
I really wish... there are so many times I wish I was a good drawer, because now I want to draw Elon Musk as an eel. I'm calling
I mean,
Elon
because...
Musk.
hang on, let me get it.
Oh, yeah. So this is a wonderful picture that we bought as a joke gift for my sister, with every intention of keeping it, because she hates eels. This is Elvis Presley. Yeah, my sister hates eels, so we bought that, got her to unwrap it, and then when we finished laughing, we gave her her actual present. But yes, I wanted to draw Elon Musk as an eel. I should just try anyway. Maybe my drawing skills have magically improved in the time since I last tried.
I'm in no way saddened that I had to give that. I had to keep that, because we bought it.
She was never gonna keep it.
She was never going to take it. Yeah.
No, never. Okay. Does Elon feel like he's magical?
No. Not particularly.
He just feels like an eel.
Yep.
Well, that's a very handsome eel you've got there, councilman.
Its name is Elon. A joke my daughter made, and it stuck.
Ah, yes. Well, my pet rat's called Ratness for similar reasons.
Ah, I see. Well, so now you know my concerns.
Look,
You have...
I suppose I would merely say in response that there's no guarantee that even if you choose not to involve yourself, that the Sahuagin will not come for you anyway. As the attack on me proves, they are nearby. Unfortunately, I do not think not being involved will guarantee your safety.
I have... he would say, oh, well, you are not the only ambassador we have spoken to of late. And perhaps a deal can be struck. Though I don't think it would hurt to have a little bit of proof of our good intention.
What sort of proof would work for you?
Well, there's more than one way an alliance can go. You are allying to fight the Sahuagin. They also will need allies. I'd rather be on the side of the Kraken than in its path.
I see.
Beryl, make me another perception check.
Beryl's kind of just had a little voice in her head go, "Get out!" I just rolled a nat 1, so...
Beryl's freaking out a bit, I think. Cosmic Voyager, could you make me a perception check in chat? ! Perception in chat for Oceanus to notice this thing.
I don't want to die here.
Yeah, nat ones.
All they have to do is pull my helmet off and I'm screwed.
A 6. A 6 isn't great.
Oh,
no,
no,
neither of you notice it. Oceana says, Councilman, I think that is rash. You would struggle to get the agreement of many of the population with that as well. And I doubt either of the other two councils ladies would sign on to that idea. They will see the way when it is properly explained to them.
I see. Well, this has been an illuminating conversation. We will leave you to your thoughts, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again on the morrow.
No, my dear. I do not believe it is wise for you to leave at all.
Damn it. I haven't had a long rest. I don't want to fight this guy. I have no third level spells.
Beryl, he, I believe it is important for me to show my good intentions. If I can present the council with a fait accompli, then their opinions matter for little. And I am going to go out on a limb and say you were probably want to incite this guy.
Yeah, I feel like he's about to try and kill me. Yay, back to the good rolls, 24.
Yeah, he's about to try and kill you. The eel has started circling you.
Can I charm him, please? Charm person, 2nd level.
You may try.
I will try. He needs to beat a wisdom save.
You don't need to cast it at 2nd level, just cast it at 1st. 2nd level really just gives you the ability to cast it on more than one person.
Ah, gotcha, cool. I cast charm person. He must beat a wisdom saving throw of 15.
Rolled an 18.
Shit.
On the dice. And he says, your magic is not as strong as mine. And roll me initiative, I think.
No! I don't want to fight him.
That's unfortunate. 12 isn't bad. And yes, hey Tony. Give me those channel points.
Someone inspire me. I'm gonna die.
Cosmic Voyager and Tony Karlstrom, would you roll me a couple of Tony? Oh, Tony!
Ah,
Is that
Tony.
for me? Mother of Bunnies. Okay, there you are.
I think so, yes.
There you are, Mother of Bunnies. Okay, so.
Oh, you couldn't let me have a look. You led me into this as well. This was your idea, you jerk.
Idea what you're talking about. So we have Oceanus, we have Beryl. Tony, yeah, I need a... Okay, so that's a 2 for Oceanus. He is surprised by this, so that makes sense. Comes up with a 5 all up. I need a couple more. Cosmic Voyager. And Lizelle, could you... Oh, an inspiration from Lizelle as well. Lizelle, would you mind rolling me a D20 and Cosmic Voyager a D20 as well for the baddies? Because Elon... In fact, Cosmic Voyager, could you roll for Elon, please? I think that's appropriate. Beryl got a 12. And... Karagatan will be Lizelle. Lizelle got a 1! Karakatan will be going last, I imagine. Just 20, not D20.
Very dramatic music making you nervous.
It is. No, sorry. Exclamation mark, roll space, the number 20. And thank you for the biddies, Cosmic Voyager. An 8 from the eel. Which means, Beryl, with your huge 12, you get to go first. It's Beryl, you have 2 inspirations from chat.
Thanks, God.
And the real Shant, thank you very much for the follow as well, you bloody champion. Avast, matey! I am used to GM Workshop rolls. Yeah, everybody does it differently, and it's very confusing. I copy-pasted ours from Roll for Damage. So, we do the same as them, but, yeah, everyone has it slightly differently, and it's a pain in the ass. So, Beryl, what do you do? This guy appears to be... His eyes appear to be glowing a little bit now that you look. Yeah, basically, when you cast that spell on him, his eyes lit up. Literally.
I would like to cast Heat Metal on his necklace, please.
Ooh, nice. Alrighty, you do that. Make me roll. I think it's 2d8s.
Yes. This will cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact takes 2d8 fire damage. He must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object, but he's wearing it, so he can't really drop it.
So he can't take it off. So
he can rip it off his... 9.
9? That is the exact average. So that's not bad. 9 damage.
You know, it's kind of high. Big money.
But that means you can use a bonus action every turn to keep it going, as long as you're not...
Because my concentration is not interrupted.
Yeah. That's your action. Do you do anything with your bonus action? Oceanus has, councilman, and he has unshipped his... he's got his hand on his trident.
I feel I should give Bardic Inspiration to Oceanus.
Couldn't hurt. And your Bardic Inspiration should have recharged because you had a short rest.
Yes, my Bardic Inspiration is back in...
You see, you accused me of leading you into this combat, but I also led you into a short rest, so... Yeah.
Yeah, because you're out of combat.
And then...
And I'm really bad at taking short rest.
Karakatan gestures for the eel and says, Elon, the helmet! And the eel rockets towards your face, Beryl.
Oh no! Elon, don't!
And Elon is going to make a... Basically, can you make me a strength save, Beryl?
Yay, my best skill. But, oh no! No!
That's a -1.
Damn you, Elon!
Crits!
Honestly, that name makes this
Potatoes
bearable.
in chat. This is much funnier now that we know that Elon is the one tearing off Beryl's helmet, So Elon launches himself towards you and
What a dick.
Like wraps himself around your helmet and pulls it off your head, Beryl. That is its turn. That's the entire function of this creature. And it is now Oceanus. And fortunately, Oceanus has now very much gotten the message that this is aggressive behavior.
If this is how Beryl dies, I'm gonna be so mad.
You can survive. What is your con mod? +1?
Yes, +1.
Rules as written, you can survive up to 2 minutes without drowning. That's a terrifying cat. The real shan't.
This is the representation of Elon.
Yeah, that's Elon
trying
the cat.
to murder me.
Technically speaking, you can survive up to 2 minutes without air, without being able to breathe. However, use it. My understanding of it is you are functional without being able to breathe for a number of seconds equal to your con score plus your times by your proficiency modifier. So your proficiency mod is, I believe, 3.
Yeah.
So times, I think, 12 by 3, you have 36 seconds. I think that's my homebrewed way of determining how long one can hold one's breath and be useful.
Six rounds until I start struggling. Yeah.
Yeah. However, you cannot now talk underwater.
Well, what was I going to say other than, Elon, you're an asshole?
Some spells have a verbal component.
Well, I guess I'm going to cut the eel's head off then.
Yeah. Elon is still very much in, like, he's around you. And you can definitely, closest I have to an evil eel. Ah, I see. The evil cat, yes. I like
Someone create an evil eel emote.
Oceanus is going to... He's going to trust that you can deal with an eel. And he is going to attack Karakatan with his...
Ballsy.
Hey?
Ballsy. Go straight for the big man.
Yeah.
And everyone acknowledge the Elon emotion chat. Very nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Appropriate.
He's going to make a trident attack against this guy. Whoop. He hits. 10. He rolled a 10, and that was... He does hit. So he got a 14, but that's a hit. 4, and he's attacking two-handed. D8. Oh, max damage! Oceanus got 10 points of damage on this guy. This says, Beryl, there is something very wrong here. Karakatan is not this man. And Karakatan... You already have inspiration. I'm not giving you another. Very good, though. Karakatan is going to cast Full Lightning.
Underwater? Is he fucking crazy?
He very much Emperor Palpatine's, and lightning launches from his fingers. And now, Full Lightning.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and assume he's not super bothered by the red hot necklace around his throat.
Oh no, he is bothered by it. He is like, but he is toughing it out. He is completely unable to remove it for reasons you don't know. Bolt of lightning. So above him, this the water seems to darken around him, and a bolt of lightning shoots out of his fingers, lances towards the two of you. Can you make me a dexterity save, Beryl? And Oceanus will make one as well. Oh dear, Oceanus did not do very well.
21!
All right, you going to
Thank
take
God.
half the damage.
Oh, yay.
Better than nothing.
It's better than nothing, but yeah. Kind of hoping to just dodge that altogether, you know.
Oceanus is going to take 17 lightning damage. And you are going to take 8.
8 lightning damage.
Ball or bolt? Yeah, this is very much bolt lightning, not ball lightning. Yeah, Oceanus takes more than half his damage in a single hit.
Yeah.
And we go back to the top of the order. Beryl.
Beryl.
The eel is floating around your head. And also, can you make me a concentration check? Con save.
Con save.
Con save 8. You need 10 or more.
Sorry, I roll wisdom though, isn't it? Or is it?
No, it's a constitution save to concentrate.
Ah. Shit.
Holy hell. You are rolling either amazingly or exceptionally poorly.
Complete shit.
It is ridiculous. You do have inspiration.
This is true. I would like to use my inspiration to roll again.
Valid idea. Eat the eel, says
15.
GM Workshop. Yes, you maintain concentration on your spell. You cannot talk until you get the helmet back on your head. You can, however, try and wrestle it back off the eel, or you could attack the eel.
I want to...
You could try and eat the eel. The eel gets in a circle and glows like a halo.
How can I tell if it's got a verbal component? Oh shit, that one does have a verbal component.
Healing word, for example, is fairly obviously, yes, it'll say V, S, or
yeah.
material. It's verbal, semantic, or component, or physical.
Look, all my harm spells have verbal components, so we're gonna have to
spells tend to be verbal.
Yeah, so we're gonna go old school, and I'm gonna try and chop this fucker's head off.
Very well. Make an attack against the eel. Elon, no!
23!
Yeah, alright. Roll me damage, Beryl. You whip out your rapier and thrust
7 points
it
of
through
damage.
thrust it through the eel, killing the eel.
Yay! I would like to put my helmet back on, please.
Yes, you grab it and put it back on.
French kiss the eel for some oxygen.
Probably doesn't have a lot of oxygen in its mouth, GM Workshop. Also, thanks
Go,
for the
I get
raid,
the hell back
Rackham. Moose! I like the worm there from the moose. From Moose.
I have to an eel.
I mean, there you go. Cosmic Voyager's got it. Everybody's got that one. But that's a tentacle.
Nice.
Only one way to find out. That's true. You do have to, yeah. Alright, yeah, you kill
technically it's still got a
Elon the
mouth,
eel.
so...
Yeah. Good job.
I've killed Elon, everyone! Twitter is saved!
Do you use your bonus action, now that you can breathe again, to...
Would putting my helmet back on count as that? Or do I get a bonus
I
action
would
as
say
well? As
you can do it as a sort of... Yeah. I don't think
because I'll give
cost a bonus action.
Oceanus some more bardic inspiration if I am able to.
That's a... he hasn't used his last one yet.
Oh, okay.
And you need to use a bonus action to cast Heat Metal again if you want to cast a... It keeps
I lost
going.
concentration. That spell failed. I had to cast it again. Oh no! I inspired myself and passed it. Yes, yeah. I will bonus action to keep burning the necklace.
Yeah. Cool. Roll me 2 more d8s.
8.
8 more points of damage. Beryl, you can make me a perception check as well.
6.
No worries.
Back to shit.
Yep, back to shit.
We're just vacillating between the two.
Tony Karlstrom just sent me a suggestion for a magic item. Chewed on leg. +1 to hit. DC 5 con save for stun. It smells really bad. 1d4 damage.
Can we modify it so I hit someone with a half an eel?
Would be scary to be on the water near it, but they're awesome to watch from the inside a house on the beach. Though the wind swaying the house during the storm, houses are on stilts at this beach was scary.
Oh, gosh. My mum used to live in a house on the coast many years ago and had this massive window on the ocean side of the house. And when there were storms, you could literally see the glass.
Oh, yeah.
Flexing.
Yeah. Cool. All right. That's your turn very much, I would say. Oceanus, it's his turn now because Elon's dead. So Oceanus is going to attack again. Hitting again. Boom. Nicely done, Oceanus. Sadly, his damage isn't as great this time, but it's still at 4 more points of damage. And now, and now again.
Speaking of lightning hitting the water, I love that meme that's got the multiple lightning strikes. It's like, God, fuck these 6 fish specifically.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting because the rules specify about the wording of the spell of Call Lightning is that a cloud summons above you and shoots lightning down from it, and the cloud lasts for a minute. And it is not a concentration spell by the looks of it, which is pretty boss. Yeah. And it's really cool.
I get the theory behind concentration spells, but I still don't like it.
Ooh. Glad you didn't spend 10,000 on Elon. Yeah, no. The intention, yeah, and that's partially why I let you do it, Cosmic, because I was just like, nah, this thing's gonna die super quick. Because I know exactly what I'm gonna use it for. Yeah, he is now going to cast Evard's Black Tentacles.
Well, that doesn't sound nice.
Yes. His eyes turn a different... glow even brighter, this malevolent dark blue color. And from the ground around you, Beryl and Oceanus, these large sort of octopus tentacles creep up and around, grappling you. Can you make me a dexterity save, please?
Okay, I'm better at those.
Oceanus,
please,
nat
not
20
shit.
did.
Yes! 25!
Nice. Am I not seeing it? Am I not seeing your roll? Okay.
Just a little delay. I swear I did roll a 25. I'm not lying to you.
25, and Oceanus got a 21 with a nat 20. So, yeah, Call Lightning does require concentration. In which case it goes away. That's weird. It's not saying it does. It does seem like the sort of thing that should require concentration. So, yeah. Fair enough. Thank you very much, Lizelle.
Sorry, guys. I've been sitting on one of my legs, and it may have gone asleep. Do not recommend.
This one, he is going to, cast this spell. And you both manage to avoid the grasping of the tentacles and being restrained by them. However, that's weird.
Weird in my favor or your favor?
Oh, weird in your favor, actually.
Yes.
This is not such a grand idea.
Yay!
In which case, I don't know. In which case, he's not going to do it. No, he will. He will.
It was
no,
very
he will
cinematic.
because I've had you roll the rolls. You both managed to sort of rise up out above these grasping tentacles. And he is grasping the necklace in his hand now. one of his hands is just sort of frantically sort of stroking it the way he was before, but significantly more aggressively. And
Dude, that's good
he's
burn.
probably burning his hand, but he doesn't seem
Yeah.
to care. There is a mania in his eyes. And we go back to the top of the order. Beryl.
Cool. Let's do my con save to keep burning him. Yes.
Oh, no, you don't need to con save if you haven't taken any damage.
Oh, okay.
That's to maintain concentration.
Sorry. Too many things
And I'll
happening.
make a couple of concentration saves. He would have failed anyway. So yeah, the call lightning went away.
Okay.
Because you both
Okay.
hit him.
Shatter creates a 10-foot radius. But can I concentrate it on the necklace? So the epicenter of the shatter is on that necklace. Like, he's still going to take damage.
Yeah. Do you have any more second level spell slots, or this will be the last one, won't it?
This will be my last one. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Okay, let's do it.
So your
he's gonna
intention
pass
is to break the necklace?
Yes.
Okay. There will be a damage threshold, but yes.
I'm just hoping it takes...
And it's a con save for him, isn't it?
Yes, it's a con save.
A 14.
He fails then. He takes the full
Take the
10
full.
points of shatter damage. And so does the necklace.
Yeah. The necklace is going to make a different con save. The necklace got a nat 20.
It's still burning hot though, you know.
Oh, it is still very much burning hot. I would actually, yeah. So he takes 10. And then do you want to roll that 2d8s?
Yep. I'm gonna burn it even harder. Yes, 15.
Ooh! Gosh, that's close to max. Gosh, he is
I know
not
the real
looking
Shan.
great.
I rolled a 19 and it was for nothing.
What? Oh, the con save, yeah.
I know. Sad times.
I mean, the spell stayed up.
Can't be too
Yeah.
bad.
He is, he identifies that you are by far the bigger threat.
Damn it! You mean I was coasting along being the lesser threat?
No, not at any real point, but, you actually hear, his, ooh, yeah. He is going to use something new, when it's his turn. Oceanus is going to attack him. Yeah, that does hit. He got a 13 for min damage.
Boo.
But he is going to, his hair, where once was hair, has now taken on the look of almost tentacle, like long fleshy ropes, and he is beginning to, the water around him rather is beginning to glow. The tentacles reach up for you even more because, oh no, he's gonna make a. Oh no, he loses concentration. I'm rolling really badly for his concentration checks.
Great, I don't want to die.
Yeah. He is going to cast or use the ability Voice of the Kraken. And everything gets dark around him, and he says, "You should have left when you had the chance." And can you please make me a charisma save?
Ooh. Luckily, I'm very good at this. 11.
Yeah. He's turning into a mini kraken. Swim away! Maybe.
Maybe.
Oceanus passed.
Does 11 pass?
No.
Oh no!
You have a second inspiration.
I do! I'm gonna use it, because fuck. Also, I have a +7 to charisma checks. That's bullshit. 15!
Oh. So, Beryl, it turns out 14 was the number I needed for
Oh,
Oceanus
thank
to
God.
pass. So 15 is also good.
Yay!
You both resist this. And Oceanus, can you make me one more perception check, Beryl?
Eight.
No, you're just not noticing it.
Back to shit.
And Oceanus rolled a 2 on the dice. I'm going to get someone in chat to roll it. The real Shant. Can you roll me a perception check? Exclamation mark perception, please. For Oceanus, because this one is rolling very badly.
Put it in dice jail.
15. Oceanus sees the necklace and says, Beryl, I think we need to take the necklace off. It's controlling him.
Why do you think it's burning?
Well, that'll hurt him, but not the necklace. Metal can't be hurt by heat.
I was hoping he'd rip it off, okay?
You don't have time for more conversation than that. Beryl, it is your turn. He just tried to frighten you. You both very briefly felt this overwhelming urge to swim away from him. But that's interesting in and of itself. He was trying to kill you. Now he wants you to go away. It is your turn.
I could cast sleep. Because if he's unconscious, I can take the necklace off. But I can only do it at first level, so...
Or, I would caution you that creatures that cannot be charmed doesn't work on.
So it's unlikely to hurt him.
I'm just saying, he may be resistant to that, he might not. You don't know. But he is being possessed by something. He does look beat up as well. He is not looking great. He is leaking a couple of bits of nasty black ichor, particularly around his neck. He has this really nasty burn line all around his neck.
Sod it. I'll try and send him to sleep.
Okay. Violence is the answer.
It's 5d8.
Try. May I suggest you do your bonus action first?
Which is...
Heat metal.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Effectively adds an extra...
Cool. So it takes 11 from heat metal and then 20 from
knocks
sleep.
him out. He is... And yes, he appears to his eyelids flutter closed. His hand still clenched tightly around the necklace medallion.
Cool. I will drop heat metal and run in and try and rip it off his neck. Or over his head. Whatever is easier.
Yes. Oh, Windy J, thank you very much for the raid, buddy.
Hello.
Good on you,
raid of the
bloody
night.
champion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome, man.
Welcome. We have just completed a fairly heavy-duty battle.
I was worried he was going to kill me when we started, but he might still wake up and be pissy with me because he's only asleep.
Necklace, you grab the necklace and wrench it off his head, snapping the clasp. And as you do, you hear a voice in your mind. Beryl, can you please make me a charisma save?
Is it mental?
Wrong world.
17.
17. Beryl, you singularly failed to get possessed by the Kraken.
Yes!
You hear in your mind a, "Slay her, slay the beast, slay the one, and then bring it to me that I may feed." And what do you do when you hear this voice?
I'll probably drop the necklace.
Sensible. And the voice stops.
All right. Nobody touch that without a pair of tongs.
And Oceanus uses his trident to sort of pick it up. And very gingerly, he says, "What did you hear?"
I think it's the Kraken. And it wants him to bring us to him so he can eat us.
Do we need to tie him up?
Well, assuming he's no longer possessed, that should be fine, but I did kill his pet eel.
That is a shame, but...
Can I, I can't heal the eel that I bisected, can I?
Yeah, you killed it in a pretty fairly heavy-duty way.
I very thoroughly killed the eel.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, damn it.
It's also been dead for like 3 rounds. Tell you what. Let's have 3 exclamation mark roll space 20s in chat, please. Windy J D&D, would you mind rolling me exclamation mark roll space 20? We'll do some death saves for this eel. Elon the eel.
Do I want to save Elon, though?
I don't know. Let's find out. 16 from the real Shant. 17 from Tony Karlstrom. If we can get 1 more, he's all right. Also a baby. It wasn't a baby.
Good. Don't make me feel bad.
And a 7 from Bishop Blood. Cosmic Voyager got a 6. Whoa. That's 2. All right. Beryl, it all comes down to the last one. 1 more. Let's see if we can resolve it or it dies. Anybody else is welcome to. The final one. Exclamation mark roll space the number 20.
I was going to do it because I don't want to be responsible for killing the eel.
Go either way. It could. Yes, I'm afraid. Karen, do you want to do it?
I'll do it in chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lizelle got an 11!
Yay!
Elon is bleeding really badly. It's very much injured.
I'm going to quickly grab the eel and cast Healing Word on the eel.
Death to the eel.
Elon gets 6
Heals
points.
6 of the 7 points of damage you did. Yeah. It recovers a little bit. Can you describe the spell? You've never cast Healing Word underwater before.
Oh, sorry, the dog's chewing on a paper towel.
Naturally, it gains 7 because you have a +1 to your spellcasting stuff because you're using the Pipe of Rat Summoning.
The flute, yeah. The Pipe of Rat Summoning. Yeah. I'll basically reach out towards Elon, and like a ripple goes through the water that makes it sparkle in different colors. And it strikes Elon, binding his flesh back together. And
Elon sort of sluggishly starts moving again and then darts back into the desk where he has his...
Sorry! You did try to drown me!
And Oceanus has speared the necklace to the sandy floor with his trident. But he is not holding a weapon on the councilman, who is unconscious and will be for the next 30 seconds.
I will have my sword ready just in case he wakes up and tries to start some shit.
Yeah. I mean, you are... Mechanically, you're aware he has less than 20 hit points. So, yeah. And groggily, Katakatan wakes up and... What happens?
You with us?
Oh, my neck. He has a livid burn. It has gone through all 3 layers of skin. Like, it is nasty, very badly injured around his neck. His hair has returned to normal.
Beryl will be like, I can heal you up a little if you let me.
What happened? My necklace. Why is... I remember. Oh, I remember everything.
I'll heal him as well. which is my last spell slot.
Very well. Yes.
He takes 8 points of healing damage.
Healing damage. He gets him and say, I could see its desires. A whole world beneath the waves. All beings bound to its will. And the Sahuagin standing above it all. I know its name. It called itself She That Dwells Beneath. It was a kraken. And you can see he has a nosebleed.
Do y'all remember where you got the necklace from by any chance?
It was a gift.
From whom?
My late wife.
When did she give it to you?
Oh, many years ago now.
That is perplexing. Someone has cursed it.
Calls itself Ukatoa. Oceanus says, Councilman, why did you attack us? It wanted me to bring you to it. It wanted to eat you. Doesn't want the alliance. It fears it.
Well,
I remember what I said in the council chamber, that I have, I think, been under its sway for some time.
Do you think you can recall when it would have first?
It has been laying its hand gently, only putting its influence when it really needs to twist my words. You have no further objection from me. Consider the alliance agreed to in principle from the Sea Elves. I thank you.
You're welcome. Is there a... I'm sorry, I'm all out of magic, or I'd heal you up some more. Is there a healer we can call?
You have done more than I need, more than enough. I thank you. You were more restrained than you needed to be.
Well, you
could easily have died.
No one should touch that until someone can uncurse it.
It must be destroyed, I think. There is no... I can't risk it. I will summon the guard. Oceanus, you would do me that courtesy. I will sort this. My daughter said you had planned dinner with her.
Yes.
I don't want my daughter stood up, young man. And he says, looking at Oceanus, and Oceanus says, then she won't be, sir.
I think I could use some dinner and a drink after that as well. As long as you're all right, like...
When the guard comes, I will have them summon healers, and then I shall speak with the other council members. We will have an agreement to send back to you with you in the morning. This must be done soon. Its plans are coming to fruition. It has made a terrible mistake. Moving against you. It revealed itself. Beryl, you have much to do.
Oh, good. I was hoping for a little holiday.
You may have this evening, I think.
Good. I hope your daughter is a witty company.
Oh, she is. And Oceanus, he says that, like, they both say it simultaneously.
Does Oceanus have a little candle for this girl?
You can make an insight check when you go to dinner. And I think we'll leave it there. Dinner is very pleasant. The councilman is restored to, he's going to have a bad scar around his neck for the rest of his life. He'll, and when questioned about it, if you do, when you pick up the scroll the following morning, he would say, "The necklace has been destroyed, but I shall wear it around my neck forever, and therefore I can always remember my wife that way." And he indicates the scar.
I still feel bad about it, though. I'm sorry.
Rano Mashimbe, big question, would you have mentioned to her that you just kicked the shit out of her dad when you went to dinner?
Probably yes. Like, would have said, just to be clear, your dad is fine, but there was a little incident with a possessed necklace. I can't emphasize enough that he is fine. It is dealt with, but I may have
Been obliged.
I may have cast a little burning spell on him, just so you know.
It changes the tone of the initial part of dinner, but she warms to you again eventually. Beryl, that evening you are put up in their house, actually.
Oh, very generous.
And so is Oceanus.
Actually, tiny retcon, I would have asked him, do you want me to tell Rana or not? Or do you want me to let you do it when she gets home?
I feel it better maybe after dinner. Maybe on our way home.
Okay.
I will see her home. And I'm sure, like, when we get there, I can tell her just before she encounters her father, and then if she requires any further assurance from him, that will be the time to do it. But it also means I can tell her. Thank you, Beryl.
I just thought I'd check before I went and put my foot in it.
No biggie, just a tentacle-shaped circular scar. Yeah.
He's got a massive bone scar around his neck. His pride's probably hurt pretty bad as well, but he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's going to have to destroy the necklace his wife gave him. His eel is probably at least emotionally scarred, if not physically scarred. It's been a rough evening for everybody.
The eel will be scarred. And Beryl, you level up.
The eel's never going to speak to me again.
Well, the eel was never going to talk to you anyway. But yeah, Beryl, you level up.
Hey!
Level 6 for Beryl.
Yeah.
You reckon Pure Blood Bard?
Oh, I think so. She's a performer.
In which case,
at heart.
who would you like to have roll your your D8?
Lizelle, you still there? You want to roll me a D8? Since you came through with the death save.
Yeah,
you
saved Elon.
You saved Elon.
Oni. Thank goodness we didn't ask you.
Thank goodness I didn't ask you.
Yes! That's why we always roll 2 anyway. Lizelle.
You still there?
If Lizelle's not there, how about the real Shant?
Yeah.
Oof. Cosmic Voyager, yeah, that one. Also, just for funsies, I'll tell you.
Oh, the real Shant got a 3.
Ugh.
Which is better than a 1. It's not. Yeah. Let's not shouldn't it too soon.
Well, those are your 2. You get 2, and you've got a 3 of them. A 3.
Well, I guess I get 3 hit points then.
Yeah, 4 because you've got a con mod of.
So I got up to 42.
Not bad for a bard.
I always struggle with the HP manager on D&D Beyond.
There's an auto level up thing.
I'll worry about it later.
Yeah, well, I'll sort it out later. In fact, I tell you what, seeing as I'm still the DM, I'll be nice and add the 1 and the 3 together.
So I get 5.
So you get 5 all up. But you also get... You'd also get some a new spell. I think. Bard's at level 6. Level 6 Bard College feature. Counter Charm. Woo! You get Counter Charm. You also get a third level spell slot. You learn a new spell. Counter Charm is use musical notes or words of power to disrupt mind-influencing effects. That would have been super useful just now. As an action, you can start a performance that lasts until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet of you have advantage on being frightened or charmed. A creature must be able to hear you to gain the benefit. Performance ends early if you are incapacitated. It's not amazing, but it's kind of useful. And I'm actually not certain what college Beryl is. Let's have a look. Oh, I'm looking at Garrett. Tales of Terrors. Beryl.
College of Law.
College of Law. Ah. I think law is actually in here.
Rochelle would like to know if we're keeping you up, Josh.
I've had a long one. You learn 2 spells of your choice from any class.
Ooh.
At 6th level, you gain additional magical secrets. A spell you choose must be a level you can cast as known on the Bard table, or a cantrip. The chosen spells count as Bard spells for you and don't count against the number of Bard spells you know. Wow, so you actually learn 3 new spells this level up. So let's go to the builder. And we will crank you up to level 6. Additional magical secrets. Choose spell. So, ideas, chat. We can learn anything up to 3rd level. What is a good spell for Beryl to get?
I have Charm Person, Healing Word, Hunter's Mark, Sleep, Heat Metal, Invisibility, Misty Step, Shatter, Dispel Magic, and Speak with Plants.
Because you had a feat, didn't you? We gave you a free feat. You've got the... Oh no, we did that at the level up, didn't we? We gave you the feat, Fey Touched.
I could probably use another attack spell, really.
Something that does direct damage. Like a specific attack. Because you've got area effect stuff, but you don't have a...
Yeah, I have Shatter and Sleep, which are both area effect spells. Heat Metal...
I would almost suggest like Chaos Bolt or Guiding Bolt. Or even Mage...
Shouldn't have given Shimmereef the bloody wand with Guiding Bolt. Kept it for myself.
Well, Shimmereef may well become a character again. Was my thinking.
The rule's trying to suggest Magic Missile.
That was what I was going to suggest as well, actually.
Magic Missile, you get like 3 little bolts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or does that depend on the level?
Yes, you get more depending on the level you spend. You get an extra bolt per level, and it can't miss.
Oh, I like that. That's very...
It's a neat thing. I would also offer, because I have a homebrew magic missile spell, which is a cantrip, and it's Magic Spark, and it's 1d4, but you auto hit. It's 1d4 plus 1, whereas Magic Missile is 3d4 plus 1 each time.
Do I get another cantrip?
You can pick a cantrip instead of a spell.
Oh, Bishop Blood. I've had some fun with slow, not gonna lie. Not this character, another character had slow.
Fireball?
Oh, honey, are you sure you want to give me Fireball? Because again, not this character, but another character had a lot of fun with Fireball.
That's true. Let me just check Bard spells.
Oh, because I'll just use it all the time.
Fly?
Because I for the longest time I hadn't played a character with Fireball, and then I finally got a character that had Fireball, cast Fireball, and went, oh my.
Oh, this is fun. Yeah.
I get why everyone just casts Fireball. This is great.
Bards don't get Fly.
Fly could be handy.
Fly
but
could be handy.
I do really want an attack spell. Don't let me forget that.
The other thing that bards don't get is Revivify.
Doesn't that need a component?
Yes, but still. You can bring people back from the dead. Only for up to a minute, but still.
Ooh. Oh, I'm the worst at picking these things.
Oh, we will have a think about those later.
No more consays for Elon.
So, yes,
Do you
that
reckon
was...
if I posted on Twitter and tagged Elon Musk, I'll just be like, just so you know, your ill equivalent got cut in half, but I healed him. You're welcome. Because we know he looks at his tags on Twitter.
Yes. Elon Moray as well, wasn't it? So, we're going to do now what we like to do at the end of our streams. A bit of a chill thing. We do favorite moments, where we talk about the stream that we just had and our favorite bits from it. And we had a real doozy today. So, with an incredible 3 raids, which is really cool, and we're exceptionally grateful for. So yeah, let's talk about that. Karen, we always do the player first, so let's talk favorite Karen moments, chat.
Oh my goodness.
What are your favorite Karen moments? Mother of Bunny is very effective for interrogating bad NPCs. Revivify.
I had not considered that.
Oh, that's monstrous.
Just bring him back to life, ask him a few questions, and then stab him again.
I mean, what is the material component for Revivify?
Oh.
5A. It's a diamond? It's a diamond worth 300 gold pieces. It's quite an expensive way to interrogate somebody, but yeah. Got a park?
Depends how important the interrogation is, I suppose.
Yeah, suppose. Magic missile at 3rd level is really good. Haste. Yeah. Don't always kill him and then speak with the dead. Yeah, there's that as well. Though they might not be interested in talking to you after you've killed them.
That's what charm person's for, isn't it? Can you charm the dead?
Yeah. No, but you can charm the living. That's significantly easier to charm the living.
Yes, it's much easier to interrogate people who aren't dead.
All right. So, favorite Mother of Bunnies moments, which I suppose I should say first.
Yeah, you go first, because I'm just trying to narrow it down and get nowhere, so...
I'm gonna say what you said to try and convince Katakatan the first time. When he was being obstructive initially. Your whole meeting with the council was really good. I thought you've got, and you and Beryl, they both have a really good way about you of this, of being diplomatic. Even if you don't think you do it very well, I think you do.
Thank you.
But what you said to him, and I don't recall exactly, but yeah, what you said was a really good answer to his problem. And like he uses the rules of a Kraken priest. He was an unwilling one, but yeah, he was sort of semi-possessed, and he could have just said, "Nah, fuck off," but you were far too reasonable for that, so he had to at least pretend to consider it. And it was very good. You did well. I really enjoyed it.
Sorry about the noise. Tori's trying to chew through the fence behind me.
I can't hear it.
Okay, good. The mic's filtering it out. So I just get to listen to it. And the dog wants to get down now because the rabbit's making noises, isn't he? He is. He's making noises.
Yeah. Go on then. Your favourite self.
I actually like managing to heal Elon.
Yes. No, I like that. That was cute.
Just because it's just like, oh shit, the eel isn't evil. I better try and heal it. I think it speaks to who Beryl is, that she's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Just realized the eel isn't bad, it's just possessed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's not even possessed. It just works for. It's his pet.
Yeah.
It's akin to me telling Siri to attack somebody and her doing it, and getting cut up. I'm actually kind of glad that you did say that, which is kind of why I let you. I mean, it didn't take a lot of damage, and you did a lot of healing to it afterwards. So yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. Very good. Favorite Mother of Bunnies moments. If anybody in chat has any favorite Mother of Bunnies moments as well, please chuck them up while we do favorite DM moments. Karen, favorite DM moment?
There were, I really loved the world building of Shimmereef. Generally was really enjoyable. Describing the city and the wreck and just the descriptions. That was wonderful. And the patting the shark was...
Yeah. So,
actually, there's a Karen favorite moment.
Yeah.
I touched the shark.
I touched the shark and I liked it, yes.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm actually going to say a second favorite Karen moment there. Prompting that bit, so I made in my notes, I said, ask her to, have Beryl explain her purpose here and give some time to explore while the guards summon the council. Ask what she would like to do or see. I'm really, and you going that I really enjoyed that sort of, that impetus. Take me to a garden in the place that's already really pretty. I was like, that was really cool. The fish trying to clean Beryl, says Bishop Blood. Yeah, that was cute.
And I know exactly what that feels like as well.
Yes, we've had the fish tickler.
We've done the thing where you put your feet in the pool and the fish nibble you.
It's really nice. I really liked it.
It is, but apparently Pickles. It's very unhygienic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Beverages, how do they work?
You have broken skin, so we were all good.
Yeah. Bishop Blood also liked how the beverages work and the architecture. Yeah. I really like this sort of otherworldly thing, and it's very on brand for me as well. I got in so late, Corso's Cove, didn't really have time to pick one today. That's totally fine, Tony. Thank you so much for coming anyway, and thank you for that inspiration.
Yes, thank you to people who inspired me tonight.
Yeah,
really
Beryl needed them.
I did.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that heat metal spell would have just died.
I dead set should have just kept Call Lightning on you. Should have just kept blasting you with it. He only has one casting of it a day, and he did fail his concentration save. So he couldn't keep it up.
Yeah, the dice continue to be really high or really low for me.
Yeah,
it's just been the last few sessions. It's either upper teens or 1 to 4.
You will probably be finding that a little bit more now you're playing with slightly higher level characters. When your modifiers are quite high, it'll feel like your any roll is either really high or, oh fuck, that's crazy low given my modifier.
I'm screwed, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit one way or the other. It does sort of get that way. Any roll over 12 becomes really quite high, and anything under 12 is a fail and feels crazy low. Yeah. It's a shame I didn't get the 69 on the roll if you visited the spawning pools. Yes, Black Rose.
That's my other favorite chat moment for tonight. My first being naming the eel Elon.
Elon, yes. Chat was good today.
Good work, chat.
Yes.
Solid contribution.
My favorite meme moment, I did enjoy King Braithwaite's Revenge. Well, that was funny. But also the description of it, I thought that was really cool. Because I made 0 notes on the world. I was like, I tell a lie. I wrote a description of the place itself, like the whole city. I wrote that initial description, and I described the council chamber. But I didn't know where else you'd go, so I was just like, just make it up. You're good at that. You know the vibe of the place, so you can just do it. And I really like that wreck. But I also, in terms of my prep, the big thing I did do was research a whole bunch of ocean names. You see, Oceanus bugs me as a name. It's a really shit name for a sea elf.
Wow, way to dump on the author of that.
It's just like of a otherwise really cool adventure. It's just a really lazy name. So I went even lazier. I doubled down on the laziness. all of the names of the sea elves from today have been names for ocean. Every single one. Lautan, Samodra, Ranomashimbe, Hav, Sagara, and Bahari, plus Katakatan, Valtameri, and Ianme are all other languages, all non-English languages, words for ocean. I've even still got the list. Bahari is Swahili. Moana is Maori, which I quite enjoy and didn't use. A lot of languages use ocean or words to as similar. Malagasy.
Oh, the real Shan, you're onto my hack as well. If
That's
you
how
have no
we
idea
pick...
what they're going to be, then use Google Translate until you find a name that works.
Yeah,
cool.
that's it. My first was Scan Felspar, but my second player character was a Water Genasi paladin whose name was Madzai Yuge, and I just googled words for water. Madzi is, I think, Swahili, actually. And then I think Yuge is a Slavic version.
My favorite version of that sort of thing is when I was naming the hotel in the player wrote Hotel Doggerel, because I was writing the show for a dance school that was called Sabrina Showstoppers, and so I wanted to call it Hotel Showstoppers, but not that obviously. And so I was just like, oh, fancy hotels have French names, so I'll see what Showstoppers is in French, which is Etoile, which
it's really boring.
Etoile. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Etoile.
Yeah.
Etoile. And I was like, that's a bit, it's not quite what I was looking for. But turns out if you put a space between show and stoppers, you get Montreuil-les-Bouchons, which does not mean showstoppers. It means like see plug.
Show caps.
Show caps, that's it. It means show caps or plug, depending on how you translate it. So yeah, it ended up being the Hotel Montreuil-les-Bouchons, and we made it a joke that that's not actually how you translate showstoppers to French.
Random.
Where would you rather go, the Hotel Etoile or the Hotel Montreuil-les-Bouchons?
Ranomashimbe is Malagasy, I believe is how that's pronounced. Javanese is Samodra is Javanese. Lautan is Indonesian, or Yautan, I think is actually. Hav is Swedish, and I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. Katakatan is Cebuano. I'm not even sure what the language is. Cebuano. Katakatan. And a very similar one, Kavatagatan, is a different language. But yeah, there's and yeah, I had fun with this. Valtameri is Finnish. And Ianme is Haitian Creole. And I thought Ianme is a really cute, it's a really pretty name as well, actually.
It is, actually. That's lovely.
I like both Valtameri and Ianme. I picked my favorite three for the councilman. But Ranomashimbe, I was just like, I've got to use it somewhere. Yeah. So that's my favorite thing that I did, really. I was just like, it's a really fun way to like come up with cool names. Yeah, Black Rose says, it's how I do my character names. Ancient Greek translations with some relevance to the class. Yeah, that's it. It's the way to go.
I quite enjoy Latin as a language to bounce off from, which I know is not original at all for a writer. But Latin has some dope words, and because no one speaks Latin anymore, you can really do whatever you want with the pronunciation.
Yeah,
because no one really knows how to pronounce Latin, so it's fun with dead languages.
So we should go away from here now. We should go and raid somebody, I think, yes. Karen.
What should we dump our lovely viewers on?
Well, Mike Moans is streaming.
Microphones is streaming. And how does people feel about some painting?
Painting some D&D models. I think that sounds like an excellent idea to me. So, Karen, who the absolute heck are you?
Hello, I am Karen. I am the mother of bunnies, Tori and Guinea, who have been making noise behind me during the stream because they're very considerate. And I think they're both. No, I've still got one. Can't tell which one it is hiding behind the wardrobe. You can follow me on Twitter with Mother of Bunnies, where I'll be hanging out until Elon finishes burning it to the ground. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Miss Lawlamore, which is my burlesque alter ego. That account's been a little inactive of late, so I need to try and post more over there because she hasn't been doing much. But you can also listen to me on the podcast There Be Dragons. There's a link in chat, or you can look for There Be Dragons on your preferred podcasting platform. I'll be back on Thursday night for the next installment of the Humblewood campaign. And I'll be popping up intermittently over the 12 days of Candlekeep Christmas.
Starting next Monday. I think we'll both be there for next Monday.
Yeah, I think we're both there next Monday.
Just because I think it's important that we're both there for the first and the last sessions.
You get to see my collection of Christmas earrings over the course of the stream.
Oh, yes. We have also ordered a Christmas D&D calendar, and I figured it would be fun if we opened one every day on stream. Yeah.
That's cute. So we had a conversation like 2 Manos ago about what liqueur, what alcohol, like seafaring races would drink.
Last week.
And we're like, well, it's got to be some sort of salty alcohol because obviously everything's salty. And so while we were talking, I quickly Googled is there a salty alcohol? Turns out, yes, there is. There is a Dutch salty licorice liqueur, which is apparently an acquired taste and can be tongue numbing and very astringent. And so being a curious person that I am, I ordered a sample bottle of it from a lovely distillery in Queensland. So that's being mailed to me. And
when that happens, it'll happen to us.
Yeah, when it arrives, we'll drink it for you. And we're assured that it packs quite a punch. So look forward to our facial expressions. Because I've tried the salty Dutch licorice. It's really it's a
an
flavor.
Acquired taste.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. So we'll see.
And Mesdames et Messieurs, Damen und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate, and you can find me here on my channel, Corsairs Cove, where I run D&D with me lovely lady wife, the mother of bunnies. Yes, we'll be doing quite a lot of it in the next few weeks. Tomorrow night I will be homebrewing some more Aussie-themed animals and monsters and stuff. In fact, I thought I would take another swing at the platypus race. Tomorrow, and then maybe a bunyip, the monster, which is an Australian mythical creature, nasty thing.
We have to get to boom snakes and drop bears as well.
Drop bears and boom snakes. Yep. Thing is, I'm pretty sure you could find a homebrew of that already, but I haven't been able to find a bunyip. Cool. So I will do that, and then yes, back for Thursday night for more Humblewood, and starting on Monday, we will be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of Candlekeep Mysteries. Then Thursday will be Humblewood again, and then Friday more Candlekeep every week for the next 3 weeks. It's going to be intense. We're going to have 12 days of Candlekeep and the final 3 episodes of Humblewood in those 3 weeks. I'm not going to get a lot of sleep. So it's going to be very, very exciting. We will have the Lawrite join us. We will be having Soteris joining us. We will be having Rhythm in the Mind joining us. We will be having Malika Moon joining us. Plus, Ro and Jack from Midnight and Madness. And Rachel and Dan, her lovely partner Dan O'Brien, they're from loads of different things. And Daria,
but they were in the Dare 2-shot.
Yes, and Daria and Brendan from Monster. Well, it's going to be a really fun 3 weeks, and I'm super looking forward to it. With a constantly rotating cast and 4 different DMs. Me going first, and then Lawrite taking the second one, Karen running the third, and Daria running the fourth in the final 3 days before Christmas. So, guys, we are going to go away from here now. I need to thank Sirenscape for the music, the sounds you're hearing. Thanks to Wooden Forge for the joy they're bringing. You can buy your own stuff, it all comes straight from a tree. recommended by me, shaped by Aaron and Nate, shipped to thee. So I thank Root and Forge for the affiliate, so I can share it with thee. Raid? No raid? No, there will be a raid, Neoton. Natoan, thanks very much for joining. You just came, you just missed us, mate. Restart the stream from the beginning.
But I want to go eat dinner.
Dude, we are going to go and eat dinner now. We have been streaming for 3.5 hours. We are going to drop a wonderful raid on the marvelous Mike Moans for some D&D mini painting. And Mike is a wonderful human being, a mini painter in Manchester, and just a genuinely lovely guy. You could do much worse for a way to spend the remainder of your Monday evening. So, Natoan, I will be back tomorrow evening for more hangs if you want to come and build some monsters with me. Restart the stream, Elon gets killed and saved again. Let's do it!
You refuse to pleasure me, but also pleasuring other people. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we were in an exclusive relationship.
So, we will go and raid Mike Moans now. Go and enjoy the Moan Zone, the Moany fans, and we will say goodbye. There's one more thing I need to talk about. Oh, yeah, no, we should do all of our things. Can you type YouTube? Because I can't.
YouTube.
Those are the socials, the YouTube, and the Dis of Chords. If you want to come and join us on any of those things, you can. You'll be very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you to our raiders for those massive raids. GM Workshop particularly, thank you for dropping all of your lovely folks on us. But Windy J D&D and the other one, Promethean. Thank you, guys, as well, for your wonderful raids, too. Guys, if you want some quality content, go and check those amazing people out. But we will go and drop a raid on Mike Moans now. So, guys, say goodbye, Karen.
Bye, everybody. Mwah.